To lead the Skol chant and sound the Yeller horn, please welcome the 31st Adjutant General of the Minnesota National Guard, Major General John Jensen.
Well, hello, this is John Randall, Minnesota Vikings legend, and it is my pleasure to say, Minnesota Vikings fans uncensored, are you ready? Keith, get your people up. Let's go. Skol, 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 baby. Let's go.
Hello, Vikings fans. Welcome to the Let's Skol Show. I'm Fish. As always, I've got with me Mr. Positivity, Cody Bowden, he who greets with smoke, Skolful Shack. And our Captain Keith will be joining us momentarily. He's doing his usual get us started stuff. Tonight, we've got a recap of our Week 11 loss to the Bears and a preview of our Week 12 game against the Green Bay Packers. We got some cheesehead enemies to skull with. So what's the current state of the Minnesota Vikings in our fan base? At 4-6, is it a wrap, or do you still have some playoff hope? We're going to go around the Gallahorn with our hot takes, and we're going to make our Purple Prophecy predictions. But before we jump into all that, let's break this ice. Fellas, if you could pick one current Viking to come on our show, who would it be and why?
I'm going to go.
Face off, Shaq.
Okay.
I'm going to go with Mr. 200. Harrison Smith. You know, he's one of the last few players that I really rooted for, you know, like as an elite talent, borderline Hall of Famer. And I just want to pick his brain about his career so far with the Minnesota Vikings. Early years to now, and just see, does this team feel any different? Or what would you compare, out of all the teams he played for with the Minnesota Vikings, which year would you compare this one to?
Good stuff. Who you got, Cody?
I got a guy that's faced a lot of adversity before in the past, before he was traded over to us, and I think in the early 90s. I think I'd
Is he still
see how a Viking faces adversity, and I would like him to be on the show and talking us through the adversity, how you got through it. That way, maybe we can calm some fans down about our situation we have now. I mean, it's total different situations, but there was still adversity involved. So I'd rather see that. And I do like the little Twitter beef that he's got going on with a certain someone too. So I'd like to ask him about that.
Doesn't sound current, and you never said his name.
Oh yeah, it's not current. It's Chris Carter. Current guy, Shaq Stoma, and Keith is about the same. My other one. So right now,
I'm sorry.
Justin Jefferson, we'll just call it as it is and just get the most views we possibly can on this show. Put the Mr. Gritty on this thing. Let's keep this thing rocking.
Who you got, Keith?
Mine's probably a little bit surprising, just given what he's been for us this year. But it'd be Adam Thielen, just because, you know, he grew up a Vikings fan, and, you know, now he got to play for the Vikings, living out his dream, you know, all of our dreams as little kids, you know, getting that opportunity. And not only that, kind of like a lot of things Shaq said about Harrison Smith, he's been around for a while. So we could ask him a lot of things going back to like 2014 to now about the Vikings and things that happened, questions we might have had. But he's also played with some young quarterbacks. He was there for Teddy Bridgewater, so we could be asking him about like what were some things Teddy Bridgewater went through behind the scenes and how does it relate to what JJ McCarthy's going through. And he was also there the last couple of years with Bryce Young for the Panthers. So that might even be a closer relation to what JJ McCarthy's going through, because that Panthers organization was ready to give up on Bryce Young. But in year 2, at the end of year 2, he really started turning it on, and he's been a pretty good quarterback. So I do think there's a lot of information we can get out of Thielen, and I just think he'd be fun to talk to. I think it'd be a good conversation. You know, I think there'd be some jokes in there too, and just jokes and information, man. What about you, Fish?
I think I would like to have Jalen Redmond on. And the reason is we would be gushing on him. He's having a great year this year. And then Keith would get to be able to create this awkward moment where he would play a clip from that video, just so that way I could be like, I didn't mean it.
I'm like, Fish, you're saying all this stuff, but let's rewind the tape.
On the big screen.
Grocery bags.
But I said, I'm excited you're going to be stalwart.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I'm proud of us that nobody took JJ McCarthy, because I do think we will talk plenty about him. But like T-Bass says, everyone realizes it's the Minnesota Vikings and not the McCarthy Vikings or the Minnesota McCarthys.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's different. It's not like the Kurt situation.
You know what? A lot during Kirk's time here, I always said, man, Kirk Cousins is the most polar Viking there has been for this team ever. Like, you were either on one side, and it was like split half and half, and he was like the most polarizing Minnesota Viking. JJ McCarthy's already given him a run for his money. If he can hang around long enough, we'll see.
Someone said
You know, I remember that last season, I was like, man, when Cousins is gone, who are they all going to fight about?
Yeah.
it was.
We've got to wonder.
It was a lame.
I mean, there's a little bit with Sam Darnold, but it never to that extent. I think it was kind of like, we don't like Sam Darnold, and then as a group, we kind of like, oh, he's all right, he's good. And then we hated Sam Darnold, except for Shaq. Shaq was always loved Sam Darnold.
I think we did bring up a question, though, about polarizing players, and that McCarthy would probably be the most likely one. I think it was during the offseason or right when he got hurt.
I think maybe I thought it was going to be Jets after he got his contract. You know, there was a little bit of that, but no.
What's up, Lucy?
No popcorn tonight.
Oh, Tommy's calling a truce. Can we all just get along? We will see how long that lasts, Tommy. I don't think that's going to last tonight.
Yeah,
I think that truce will be broken by the end of the night, but I'm glad that you're at least taking a step in that direction, because we do all need to get along with this type of season we're having, including that game against the Chicago Bears on Sunday, where the Vikings dropped a very important game, 19-17, falling to 4-6 on the season. Once again, like the Ravens game, this was very winnable. Just couldn't pull it out. The defense and KOC did their part in this game. The running backs, the O-line, they did theirs. Quarterbacks and receivers left something to be desired, both parties. Defense played good enough to win, only gave up 1 touchdown for 6 punts on 12 drives, 5 3-and-outs by the offense, 8 of 11 drives under 5 plays. You know, that was the Vikings that had 5 3-and-outs on offense, and, you know, kept the defense out there. The Bears had 14 more minutes of possession than the Vikings did. We had a hard time getting to Caleb. You know, they were getting pressure on him, but couldn't sack him. I think that was one of our keys. And we didn't force any turnovers and gave up 2, which was another one of our keys of the game. So, you know, there was some good, but there was some bad, just like the Ravens game. KOC, in my opinion, called a good game. There wasn't really any WTF moments, and we had a good balance. There was 32 passes of 22 runs. Jones and Mason were running well on their carries, 22 carries, 115 yards, 5.2 average. Then you get to JJ McCarthy, who had accuracy problems and drop ball problems from the wide receivers. You know, JJ threw 6 balls that were horribly inaccurate, and there were 6 drops from the wide receivers. So that's 12 passes that, got to get better with. This was probably one of the best performances by our offensive line. We might have a center in Blake Brandel. That's, something to monitor going forward. That could be like a bright spot here. We might have a center, even though it sounds like Ryan Kelly's going to be trying to come back. No matter what happened in that game, with under a minute, we had the lead. We had the lead with under a minute, and then the special teams failed us. So, all in all, I feel it was a pretty good game, except for our rookie quarterback, our wide receivers, and the special teams that failed us. And the Bears got some talent, but they got to be one of the worst 7-3 teams of all time. They should have blown us out in that game, and they have still yet to beat a team that's 500 or better. So I want to get your guys' take on this game. I want to start with you, Fish, but before you get into your take, what was your catch in this one?
You kind of alluded to it. We drive down, we take the lead, 17-16. 50 seconds left in the game. 50 seconds left in the game with a 1-point lead. And then we kick off, and our special teams just collapses in, leaves a gigantic lane up the right side, and the Bears returner, who's it, Duvernay, takes it all the way to our 40, essentially puts them right into field goal position. Matt Daniels called out 3 of the players. I don't want to say their names because I only want to remember one, and I don't want to typecast as I could be down on the guy. But 3 players crashed down. Got a little, what do you say? They got greedy.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden, it's Duvernay one-on-one with a 4th string linebacker. And it just wasn't good. And we asked the question, why did we put it in his hands? Were we hoping to run a little time off the clock with him getting a short return? I don't know. But hindsight being 20/20, fellas, I think kicking it out of the back of the end zone would have been the right play. What do you say?
I agree. And I don't even think that's hindsight. Like when I saw the kick live, like as I see the guy getting ready to receive it in front of the end zone, I'm like, wait, what are we doing? Like, why are we giving him this opportunity? I'm a Viking fan. I know how this goes. Like, and then it happens. That just the way I saw it in my head happening as I saw the ball kick short of the end zone. I don't care they get the ball to 35. The defense had been playing good. I trusted them to not give up the 20, 25 yards they would need to get that field goal. It would have been a lot harder. I did not trust the special teams to make the stop in that situation. So, yeah.
That's
Andrew, I just addressed that. I know they get it at the 35, and I'm fine with that because even on most kick returns, you're going to get it to about between the 25 and the 30. I'm going to go ahead and give them those extra 5 yards to know that they're not going to take it back. And it was under a minute. Like, they had to move in under a minute. What were your takeaways from that game, Shaq?
Well, apparently teams can't score under a minute because, when we had Sam Donald last year, they said it was not enough clock for him to come back. But that's beside the point. My takeaways is basically, he should never kicked it that deep, but I'm guessing, as a team, you expect your special teams not to allow a big run. They could get 40 yards. It could be a 40-yard return. Well, not 40-yard return, but get it at the 40 or 45. But what they did, that was, I'm pretty sure nobody expected that to happen on special teams. If we was being honest, if special teams did what they had to do, even if we kicked the ball to them, the defense could have did their job.
Right. They could have did their job, but when you let him return it, one of the possible outcomes is them returning it like they did or returning it for a touchdown. You kick it out of the end zone, there is zero possibility of that happening. And again, if they were to get down there and do their job and tackle him, they're still getting the ball to 25, 30-yard line. Like, I am eliminating that possibility of them returning it back for a touchdown or in the field goal range. No question about it.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, I almost think letting him score the touchdown would have been better.
See, my issue is, this is my issue, the whole thing on this kick return. there shouldn't be that much time remaining in the game on the kickoff. I'll let you know right now, the Bears lead the league in game-winning drives. And we gave them the ball with time, right? I know J.J. McCarthy struggled most of the game until that final drive and scored the touchdown. I don't think you can have where we save time on the clock and then we still score either. So it's like you're in between a hard place and a rock, right? And you have nowhere to go. So yeah, kicking it out of bounds, but I still believe the Bears could probably march the field. They have the lead in game-winning drives, still march the field to win the game. All they needed was the field goal, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they still march the field to win this game. They lead the league in game-winning drives. Then you have J.J. McCarthy struggling all game long to that last drive. I don't think you can do anything else but score fast. Like what we should have done, what should have happened is McCarthy probably should have played a little bit of a better game in the clock management side. All right, a lot of incompletions. I get it. There's a lot of drops too, the most incompletions. But again, you can't just blame that special teams as the reason why we lost. All right, it is the number one team in the NFL with game-winning drives. I don't know how many times I got to say this, but if we can just score a little later in that fourth quarter in that drive, it would have been all right. But then again, if we would have had a full complete offense and a good quarterback out there slinging the ball correctly, we'd have a better game managing. So I don't know. It's tough. It's tough to call.
Yeah, no, I think you're crazy to say they should have tried to waste time in that situation when JJ was on that drive and we needed a touchdown. I get it in that situation. You wouldn't want to try to bleed the clock, but not with the quarterback in his fifth game. It's 22 that's been struggling.
That's what I was saying.
I think the only drop on that drive was Hawkinson when he ran that little out for the first down and he dropped it just past the sticks with 2 minutes and 3 seconds left. Where if he would have caught that ball, that had taken us to the 2-minute conversion, then everything else that happened would have been on the other side, and the clock would have winded down better for us.
Yeah, you don't get cute there. You can get the touchdown, you take the touchdown, and the fact is, what was it, a 30-yard touchdown? It wasn't even like it was a, okay, we're inside the 10, let's run the ball and try to kill some clock.
It was a strike. He threw a strike to Addy.
Yeah, he needed that strike, right? But if you take away, if he played better if he played at least half the better than when he did this game, we'd be in a whole different situation.
Well, right, I get that. That's why I started off by talking about J.J. McCarthy had 6 horrible passes and 6 drop passes. All that plays into why we lost. That just was the final nail, and there was something we could have done to have a better chance at winning, and we didn't do that.
Yeah.
It's still staggering that we only lost by 2 points.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why.
As bad as we played.
Especially against the Ravens, having 9 false starts and still losing by only that much. And then.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you guys think about the game plan from KOC? I feel like we got to check it on this every week. It's kind of been an up and down thing with him. I think overall we're all KOC fans, but I think this might be the season that we've been most critical of him, and with good reasoning. But what do you think about the game plan, Cody?
I thought the game plan was pretty good from KOC. The only thing I didn't like the amount of non-play action calls that were getting called on 2nd and 1. It's like KOC heard us yelling at him on these short yardage situations to just run the ball, but that's on 3rd and 1. That's what we're looking for a run. On 2nd and 1, when you drive the ball on our first plays of run game, you have the chance to take that shot with the play action. And I didn't see much. I think I probably saw it twice. So other than that, the game plan I thought was ran pretty good. It's just I really would like to see more play action calls on the 2nd and 1s and a little bit more RPOs, just because you ran RPO with Carson Wentz. Why aren't you doing it with J.J. McCarthy?
Fish, do you think he might have tailored this game a little bit more to J.J. McCarthy?
Yeah, I think he still expects JJ to be a pocket passer out of the shotgun. But, during the aftercare, there was some blowing up about, still throwing the ball too much. And I brought it up. We ran the ball 22 times. That's a 40% run rate for a pass first offense. That's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in this league and right now, running the ball 40% of your offensive plays ain't bad. So I think he did better. I think he didn't have a whole lot of opportunities. I mean, you know, with that many, let me just say incompletions, it's really hard. You'd have to have a running back bust a couple. You'd have to have like Adrian Peterson bust a couple for long distance and touchdowns to where we could have really been competitive in this game with the way that it was going down with errant passes and drop balls.
Yeah, and he commented on Monday that JJ McCarthy needs to clean up his mechanics, but doesn't lack the mental toughness. And I do think that's what we saw in this game. I think, you know, we saw some mechanic issues, but we saw that mental toughness to, you know, be able to go down and get what should have been the game-winning touchdown. And we said that in our group chat. Like, when we got the ball with whatever, a little bit over 2 minutes, and we needed to go 80 yards, it was kind of like, all right, let's see what he can do right here. Like, can he do this 2-minute drill? And I would say he passed that test.
Mm-hmm. But
the mechanics will be an issue, and those aren't going to get fixed this season. I think everybody needs to realize that, but they are fixable. They are correctable. I'm not going to speak too much on McCarthy, but we do need to talk about what you guys thought about him overall in that game. 16 of 32, 150 yards. He had that one touchdown and 2 interceptions. His QBR, 22. His quarterback rating, 47.7. Those aren't great numbers. So again, you know, he was off with some passes and passes were dropped, but not a great performance from 9. What were your thoughts on the quarterback in Game 5, Shaq?
Well, he's looking like a rookie, unfortunately. I know it's a crazy thing to say, but he's looking like a rookie that's struggling, but trying to piece it together. And the Vikings aren't really, I'll say, our team that we knew from last year isn't really stepping up to the level they was playing last year with him playing. So it's kind of like he's struggling, and then they're not making the plays they make for their quarterbacks. Like, if you look at all the amazing catches that Justin Jefferson and Addison did for Sam Darnold and Kirk Cousins, they should be making these difficult catches for JJ McCarthy. So once all these JJs, once Justin Jefferson and Addison start catching the ball more frequently, even if it's a bad pass, I feel like slowly but surely McCarthy's going to start putting in the money. We just got to be patient. I know we've been seeing a lot of talks of him being compared to Palmer and all these quarterbacks. Right now, let him just play before we compare him to any quarterback, because we don't know what he is right now. You can't compare 5 games to any quarterback right now, because there's a lot of quarterbacks out there, and they really didn't show much their first 5 games. Or even if they did, that doesn't determine the career they have. So let him play it out. That's my take.
So, Fish, you kind of mentioned that he's determined to make him a pocket passer. We did run 22 times in this game, but JJ McCarthy wasn't one of those runs. I think this is the first game where he had no runs. Are you surprised at all? Did you find that interesting?
Shocked, actually. And you know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking back to Josh Dobbs. Josh Dobbs, when he first came and didn't know the playbook, and he Supermaned us to a win or two. And he ran and he got injured. And, you know, KOC on that sideline, you know, you can argue about whether or not he was mouthing WTF about Josh Dobbs running or something else. But I'm telling you, he is trying to I think he's trying to put a leash on his ability to run. Stay in the pocket, make your decisions. Throw the ball, don't run. I'm just saying, for that kid to not run at all, I didn't see a spy. Even with decent lane discipline, he still had a couple of opportunities where he could have tucked that ball and gone for it, and he just didn't. And so I still say that KOC is going to say it's my way or the highway. This is how you're going to do it. And looking at the way we ran the pass plays this week, still looks like last year's offense. And J.J. McCarthy is not the same quarterback that Sam Darnold was last year. And he's not the quarterback that Kirk Cousins was. He doesn't have the consistent touch or anything like that. He cannot run that offense. And this offensive guru, this quarterback whisperer, will not bend and say, okay, we need to do this for this particular guy.
So, Cody, where is your confidence in J.J. McCarthy now? Has it swayed at all from, where it was maybe 3-4 weeks ago?
No, not really. I mean, I still like the McCarthy thing, but I know I did bring up something during the offseason about him jumping into this team right away, and then we're just going to get off and go, right? I said something about he was holding a tablet all for a full year. He didn't have a chance to work on mechanics, right, for that first full year. He's looking at a screen the whole time. But what gets me thinking is, why weren't we fixing mechanics this offseason? Were we just too busy acclimating him to the offense instead? So that's a knock on, I think, coaching. But my sway hasn't changed from J.J. McCarthy. It's because he missed that first year, wasn't able to get those mechanics fixed wise. So it's going to take a little bit more time for him to become developed.
So George asked an interesting question in the chat. And George, the Sharks are going to lose tonight. Go Kings, go. But he asked, do you guys think that KOC has lost the locker room?
No, and I don't think he'll lose it so long as he has guys like Hitman and Adam Thielen there. As you guys know, those two guys lived it through a locker room being lost, an absolute mutiny, and Mike Zimmer being fired. They will probably not allow that to happen as much as they can.
Yeah, it's like it's up to the owners at this point. They need to come down and talk to Kwesi and KOC. Like, what's going on? Y'all not talking? Don't make us do y'all like we did Zimmer and Spielman.
I don't think he's lost the locker room at all. I just don't think that this team has the same chemistry that it had, the past couple of years, that same vibe that we're used to seeing, the last couple of years, we pretty much had the same team. This year, we had like a pretty big roster overhaul. What was it, Cody? Like 26, 27 new players on the roster this year. And a lot of it, we lost a lot of the heart. And Cam Bynum was a big part of what this team was and this team's identity. And we lost that camaraderie. So I don't think that he's losing the locker room. I just think the locker room is kind of pieced together right now. It's just not as solid as it was.
Tell it.
A lot of good players. You miss the Cam Bynum celebrations right now.
But you're also going to get that as a head coach too. Like, you're going to get your down years, and you're only what year is he in? What, 2000, year 4?
4.
Yeah, year 4, already coach of the year. Like, you're going to get your down years. Look at Stefanski. He went coach of the year his first year, had 2 down years, and then 1 coach of the year again because he brought that locker room back in together, right? It's just it's what happens to coaches.
Am I tripping, or did it change how it looks on everybody's name with the @ and everything?
It did.
Did it always look like that, or it changed?
Oh, it changed.
I don't like it.
I think they're showing the login name instead of the chosen skilled name.
I don't like this. Look, I don't need to see Alex Hortus 9670. Just put Alex.
Alex, what's going on?
What up, Alex? Brian Dable won Coach of the Year. Brian Dable's a very interesting name, though. Very interesting name. I think Brian Dable is someone who needs to be on this staff. Not as the head coach. We're not getting rid of KOC. But I think that's a very interesting name. Could Dable come in here and be an offensive coordinator? Maybe an assistant head coach.
I don't think it was Dable that corrected Josh Allen. I think it was the quarterbacks coach from the Bills that did it.
I think it was
But he was also calling the plays in Buffalo.
Say that again. Shaq got him.
He's calling the plays. He said he was calling the plays, but I said what they did was get Josh Allen the #1 receiver.
Oh, that fixes mechanics.
Shit, just throw him the ball. Just throw me the ball. But Josh Allen's athletic enough to the point where he don't need to have perfect mechanics.
Yeah, but the first couple of years he wasn't very good, and I remember like halfway through his rookie season, they were calling him a bust. Even his breakout game, which was against us, he was running the ball, not really throwing it. He had like 150 yards passing, but he had 3
Using his
touchdowns.
athleticism. He
Right.
grew into a passer.
Right,
I'm going with Jordan Palmer. That's the guy.
Jordan Palmer.
Yeah, that's the quarterback's coach that came in, and that's when all of a sudden Josh Allen's mechanics were completely fixed. And now he's the XFL head of quarterback scouting for some reason.
I mean, is it really even a coaching thing though? Because just last year we were talking about how great KOC and Josh McCown were because look at Sam Darnold. But
Yeah,
now we need new coaches.
He didn't have nothing mechanically wrong with him.
Yes, Sam Donald.
I think it was just confidence. I mean, you see confidence still spewing out of McCarthy. Maybe that's just why he's the quarterback whisperer. He just keeps giving you this confidence.
A faster 40 does not mean you're more athletic.
No, it does not. It does not. Our other first round pick from 2024 had a pretty good day. Dallas Turner.
Thank you.
Had himself 7 tackles, 2 for loss, 5 pressures, which ties a career high. He had 1 sack, his 3rd on the season. Shaq, he's got a ways to go. And he had 1 pass defended. His PFF was a 72.1 if you like to look into that sort of thing. But this was a solid game from Dallas Turner, who played 67 snaps, which I look back, I believe that's his career high. And he put in a career game. We've been pretty tough on Dallas Turner over these past few weeks, feeling like he's not meeting our expectations. But do we need to sit back and kind of give him the same patience and preaching we give JJ McCarthy? Because Dallas Turner's only 22 years old himself. So, like, we're quick to defend JJ McCarthy. He's young and he's still learning. Were we expecting maybe Dallas Turner to just come out and be this beast too soon?
I mean,
Is it easier to be a beast at a position like defensive end than it is to be a quarterback?
yeah, nope. Unfortunately, defensive ends have it hard too because they got to beat tackles who got good technique.
I just wonder if maybe we found his side. You know, when he was filling in for Van Ginkel, what's that, primarily the left side? Maybe that's just not his side. Maybe he needs to be on the right, like Grenard is primarily on.
It could be that, but he was playing on. Let me see. So when he was in Alabama, I think he played both sides, switching with Anderson, who's playing right now. He was just younger, and he's not as big as Anderson.
Mm.
But
I don't know.
I feel like he just got to grow into it. Go ahead, Cody.
Turner has to face probably 4 guys at tops, the left tackle, maybe a stunt with the guard, the quarterback, and the running back, while the quarterback has to face all 11. You know, that's all 11 guys against him. And then you have we were harsh on Dallas Turner right off the rip, right? We weren't harsh off JJ McCarthy right off the rip because he did have that 4th quarter game. So Dallas Turner, I get it. It'll take time for him to develop even more to where he's at, but also JJ McCarthy definitely deserves the more criticism.
All I can say is if you think those are good stats in this game, wait till you see him in the Super Bowl.
You still there, Fish?
I'm still there.
That's good to hear. Anybody else deserve some love in this game before we hand out these laps?
Will Weicker?
He's turned into the golden boy.
How about Mr. Price?
Had himself a nice day.
Got us into the game, baby.
Yeah, he did. That return, that was nice.
I mean,
got us our first touchdown, got the scoring going. Almost kind of wonder if there's something he could do on offense.
even a couple of gadget plays.
Mm-hmm.
We built to run a regular offense. Y'all trying to add more trickery?
Yes, why
Yeah.
not, Shaq? At
Why
this
not?
point,
It's the KOC way. I'm surprised the KOC hasn't like schemed it up. Surprised we haven't seen Price in the backfield or something like that.
Donovan
Triple
Jackson
option pass.
Oh yeah,
What's
Jackson.
that?
Donovan Jackson
Rookie.
deserves a lot of love, lots of love after that game he put on.
He deserves it. He deserves it.
It makes you
Fish, I
wonder.
had told you to go back and watch that last drive and kind of focus in on Donovan Jackson. What'd you see?
stonewalled. Who's number 99? Is that Sweat?
I
No,
believe.
he absolutely stonewalled their defensive tackle. Had a lot of one-on-ones in that drive, and then they ran a stunt on him and tried to bring a linebacker around on him blind. He picked it right up. That drive, I would say he was perfect on that drive.
99 is Javon Dexter.
Javon Dexter. Whoever it was got swallowed up by Donovan Jackson.
I'm liking that pick. I know, Fish, you're waiting until the end of the season and give your final grade, but I just wanted you to add that into your research. I'm sure you got some damaging evidence against him as well. So just want to try to help the young man's case.
That one play. Remember that one play? No, but as I was watching that, and I was like, yeah, that looks good. That looks good, but he's not doing anything special. He's just one-on-oneing, or he's winning in a double team. And then they ran the stunt. And Shaq, what are we weak against?
Counters. And stunts.
Yeah, any sort of special movement, right? And there he was, passed off his defensive tackle to the left nicely. Around comes that linebacker and just got eaten up. It was good.
Very confident in that left side.
He definitely played well, especially on that drive.
All right. So when the Vikings win, we give out game balls. When they lose, we hand out laps. As a unit, we're gonna go ahead and make JJ McCarthy run some laps because obviously he was the worst player in that game, even though he came back and led that drive, to give us the lead, and we still should have won the game. It shouldn't have come down to that. The Bears gave us plenty of opportunities to win that game and never have to worry about some kind of late comeback. So, JJ McCarthy, you need to get better. I know you're young, and we're giving you grace. We are. But doesn't mean you're not going to take your licks when you mess up. So, go ahead and get those laps. Shaq, who's your individual laps going to?
So, I'm going to stick with my original pick. I'm going to go my boy Jordan Addison. I know, Jordan, you got the touchdown in this game. I really don't want to make you run laps. But you had some drops. You've been having a lot of drop issues the last couple of weeks with JJ McCarthy. During preseason, y'all was making some nice throws and catches. So we need to get back to that. And you can make those catches. We know the rookie quarterback, all his passes not going to be accurate. You got to know that. Let him build on the accuracy. But while he's building on the accuracy, the passes that do come your way, if it's catchable or even if it's a little uncatchable, try your best to come down with the ball, because at the end of the day, you got to fight for your contract.
That's my best.
Look at Tommy already starting. He called a truce earlier on JJ McCarthy, but he's like, he didn't just miss. He was off target. Big difference. He's like, you guys aren't talking bad enough about him.
Isn't that a miss if we don't hit your target?
It is, but he just couldn't help himself. I should have set a timer.
My bad. He was asked. You
have one. It's right up on the screen in red with white lettering and numbers.
Does it have the seconds?
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
Well, then I should have paid attention to it, but I didn't. But Tommy already. All right. I'm gonna give my laps to somebody who I don't think we've made run laps yet, but I think it might be a little bit overdue, and that's our special teams coordinator, Matt Daniels. So we now have 18 penalties after we got one in this game, which is the third most in the NFL, and 158 yards, which is the first most in the NFL. That's way too many penalties for a special team. There are 19 teams that have given up under 100 yards of special teams penalty, and we have given up 158. This week it was extra costly. A holding call that took back a 36-yard kick return, and then that final kick They went for 56 yards to set up a field goal. How are your players so undisciplined to not stay in their lanes? How did they feel that I was okay to get away with that? How did you not kick the ball out of the end zone? I know we already said this earlier, but I'm reiterating how much that pissed me off. This defense played good, and you totally blew their efforts with your special teams. And I'm not the only one that's mad about it. You've seen KLC walk right past him and say, "Are you effing kidding me?" And I'm sure he didn't say effing. He was pissed. So I don't know if he was just mad at the way the return went or mad that ball didn't get kicked through the end zone. So I understand that there's going to be mistakes being made, but in this situation, you can't have it. This was very costly. So Matt Daniels, take some laps. Michael Fish, who are your laps going to?
Buddy, I'm staying in that coaching tree too. And I think that this guy's got some love last year, and maybe he might be a head coaching candidate and whatnot. Well, here's the deal. All this talk about KOC being the quarterback whisperer, I'm talking about our quarterback coach, the guy who has the most direct relationship in teaching J.J. McCarthy how to play this game at this level, Josh McCown. He got a lot of love last year with the Sam Darnold case right behind KOC. It's time he starts facing some of the ramifications. J.J. McCarthy has mechanics issues. Guess whose job it is to fix that? He has accuracy issues. Guess whose job it is to fix that? He's having problems maybe reading the defense. Guess whose job it is to fix that? And he ain't doing it. So Josh McCown, and I think I might call you out for laps until J.J. McCarthy has a good game.
That's a good one, Fish.
That is a good one. Who do you got, Cody?
So I got the edges only because I get it. Dallas Turner had himself a good game, right? But when the slogan all offseason long has been "more is needed," and your number one your team leading sack leader is a defensive tackle, you're not giving more. I'm sorry, you're not just giving more. All right, so more is needed from our edges. So we saw quite a few times Caleb Williams, even though how slippery he is, he kept escaping the pocket, slipping away from arm tackles that he was back in the backfield. All right, and that's been like the case the whole year. Him slipping, or quarterbacks is slipping away, and not even the fastest scrambling quarterbacks. So when you say more is needed, I'm going to need more, and it's going to start this Sunday. It has to start this Sunday. So my run the laps for this game has to be the edges, even though Dallas Turner did have himself a good game.
All right, yeah, and like he said, like we were getting a lot of pressure on Caleb Williams, but we only sacked him twice. We blitzed him on 24-36 dropbacks, which was the second highest blitz rate by any defense in a single game this season. Got 13 pressures on him, and it only amounted to 2 sacks. A couple more sacks might change the outcome of the way this game went. And, we got Zoe in the comments right now, pretty livid with KOC, saying, been telling you, he's not the guy. F KOC, he blew a lot of games. Does KOC need to go? Is there anybody that would be okay if KOC ended up fired and we were looking for a new coach in this offseason? You would be okay with that, Fish?
Yep. We keep going the way we're going. Yep.
Woo.
Repeat that question.
Would you be okay if the Vikings decided to fire KOC after this season?
That means I would have to look and find out who the next coach is.
But like, are you at the point where you're ready to make that move?
Nah, he unfortunately, he's won enough games in his short tenure with us to the point where he deserves to at least have a bad losing season. And this is the first time we really look like a bad team under his tenure. Even though we went 0-4 with Kirk Cousins, and before Kirk Cousins got hurt, we could have probably made the playoffs that year. So legitimately, this is the first year that's been bad that we see under KOC.
What about you, Cody?
No, I'm not worried about it now, but I will be starting to get worried about it when the owners bring in an assistant head coach, kind of like they did with Mike Zimmer, and then with Brad Childress, and then with Mike Tice. So when you start seeing those assistant head coaches coming in, that's when I would start being worried. Do I want to fire him right now in year 4? No. He's been in the playoffs 50% of the time. His coaching here has coach of the year record. He's won games of 12 and he won game of 14. I'm not quite there yet, but now when he starts getting into that Marvin Lewis territory where he keeps making 5 straight playoffs and can't get out of the first round, yeah, I would probably start adding in an assistant head coach at that time.
You know, we did have an assistant head coach, and I don't know if he's still with us or not.
No, that was his first year, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Because that's when you know the leash is on. The leash is on.
In his first year?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because we had the Donishell offense, and then who was the other guy who ran the 3-4?
Kubiak.
Who was it? Who? Huh?
With KLC, we only had Ed Donatel, and then we hired B-Flow the year after.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm talking about the assistant head coach. He was a defensive head coach.
Oh,
yeah,
also ran the 3-4.
Mike Pettin.
Mike Pettin, yep. There
Packers coach.
And then Kubiak was the assistant head coach to Zimmer. Big Kubiak.
He was the offensive guy. Yeah.
Dude, Mike Pettin is still the assistant head coach.
And we over here talking shit about him.
I had no idea. You know what? He might be a scapegoat. I've been trying to think who's going to be a scapegoat this year. Like who they gonna let go? Like they might have to let the special teams guy go. I doubt they're gonna let Wes Phillips go. Wes Phillips is like his Sean Mannion. I just need you here with me. But man, if we could swap out Pettin with Dable, that'd be great to me, in my opinion. You know, but I don't know if Dable wants to take on that role, and I don't know if KOC's ego will let him come in and have a guy like that wants, you know, to have some put on his toy. You know what I mean?
Why won't they get rid of Mike
KOC seems to have an ego.
So Zoe kind of makes a lot of sense then. Why wouldn't they get rid of Mike Pettin after KOC wins Coach of the Year?
You know what? I really can't speak because I don't know what it is that Wes Phillips does here. I know less about what Mike Pettin does here.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
It's just balance. You got 2 defensive coaches, 2 offensive coaches.
Well, then that's what I'm saying. I think he's more on the defensive side. He's probably more with B-Flow than he is with KOC.
Mm-hmm. I feel like there is going to be a scapegoat this year, though.
It's Quessy.
We'll keep the seat cool.
That's the guy.
I'm okay. I'm okay with letting Quasi go. Like I've actually been a big Quasi supporter, but it's really wearing thin on me. And I don't know. I had like an epiphany during this season early on where it's like, all right, man, this season's not going the way I expected it to go. So, you know, maybe next year. But then I started thinking like, what do we have to look forward to next year? We have nothing. Like we went all in on these aging veterans and we're going to have to cut them just to have roster space. And they're not doing anything for us anyways. We have no young talent behind them. Unless they really hit on this draft and get some starters out of this draft, it might be a dark period for Viking football these next couple of years, man. So if Quasi goes, I'm not going to shed a tear at all.
So what's it like 4 picks in the top 100 this year is what it's looking like with the 3rd round comp pick for Darnold.
Mm-hmm.
Zoe's more mad that we threw the ball 42 times than what we've done in the last 4 drafts.
Yeah. But Jordan Addison. You're right. 1 out of 27 draft picks. That'll make everything different.
So right now, Vikings are 4-6, last place in the North. And the family right now has to decide to pull the plug or not pull the plug because we are on life support. And I don't know if we're even still breathing. Our saving grace right now is that we are 2-1 in the division, and we still have 3 more division games. And even with 4 wins, this division is still pretty close. And, you know, our counterparts, they do have a pretty tough schedule coming up. Not super tough, but they all have losable games coming up. It's also not far-fetched to say that we actually have to win out to make the playoffs. Depending where you look, the Vikings have a 2 to 8% chance of making the playoffs. Now, if they do beat the Packers, that goes all the way up to like 20%. So I guess you can't totally count us out yet. But on the flip side, I also saw we have like a 32% chance of getting a top 10 pick. JJ McCarthy is struggling. Feels like tension is like building with inside the building. That's why you got fans asking, has KOC lost the locker room? Power rankings got us all at 20 to 21, kind of where we've been hanging out. Our offensive ranks, as far as putting up points, we're 22nd. Yards per game, we're 27th. The defense is getting better week by week. Right now, we're giving up 23.2 points per game, which is 16th best. And yards per game, we're giving up 317, which is 10th best. So the defense is improving because those numbers, if you go back the last few weeks, weren't as good. So
the top 10 defense.
We're getting close to being a top 10 defense. If you go just by yards, then yes, we are.
Yeah,
But-
Most of the rankings are done by yards.
not points.
No, yards. Look
I like
at
to
every
average them
single-
out. Like I like to
Look at
average out
every
points and
single
yards.
site online that ranks defense. It's all by yards, Cody. Every single one of them.
I mean, you could actually toggle on just about every single one, which one you want to rank by.
Yeah, you can.
So, with that being said, Fish, if someone that wasn't really watching football this year asked you how are the Vikings doing this year, what would you say?
What time is it? They're not living up to expectations. The primary problem is the quarterback position. We're wasting a lot of talent, and next year is going to be pivotal.
What would you tell someone, Shaq, that hasn't been really watching football this year and saw you wearing your Viking jersey and be like, oh, how are they doing this year?
Well, I'll tell them they're allowing me to relax more since I already know the outcome of most of these games. We was winning a lot last year, and we were stressing out, but we were still winning games because we should have been blowing out a lot of more teams last year. This year, we're losing the close games, so in a weird way, it's less heartbreaking because we really didn't have that much faith to begin when the game began to the way it ended. So I guess the heartbreak is less due to losing so much.
Hey, Cody, I see your nice background there, all Vikinged out. Got the Skol hat going on. Vikings must be doing pretty good this year, yeah?
What I would say is Skol. Welcome to being a Minnesota Vikings fan. Same shit every other year. All right, get used to this. This is how it's going to be. All right. I mean, with KOC in here, it's every other year to make playoffs, right? Mike Zimmer, we had a good stretch, then we had a falling apart, and then we came back with here and there every other year. Just Skol, man. Welcome to being a Vikings fan. I'm glad you're still one.
So who on this panel still believes that the Vikings can make the playoffs? And if you tell me yes, I'm going to ask you why, and you can't just say because it's mathematically possible. All right, Fish, why do you think we can still make the playoffs?
I mean, while I do agree that we have zero wiggle room whatsoever, the fact of the matter is that aside from playing in the division, we are still 2-1 in the division, that all three teams have a tougher non-division schedule than us. Every single one of them. The records of our non-divisional opponents, we are still by far and away favorable on that. And all we have to do is just play decent. We ain't eliminated. I didn't hear no bell. The Packers, non-divisional. Who do they have left to play? Damn, they almost lost to the Giants, and that was the weak team that they had to play. Non-divisional, they still have to play the Broncos and the Ravens, and then they got to play a bunch of divisional games. The Lions, who do they have to play? The Rams, oh boy, I can't wait for that one. The Giants, who almost beat the Packers. Who else they got? I can't think about it, but I mean their remaining schedule is still really tough. And then there's the Bears. The Bears still have a bunch of tough teams too. And meanwhile, our tough game left to play is Seattle. And guess what Seattle just looked like this past week? Like, oh boy, if you can get pressure on Darnold, he'll make mistakes.
No way.
Say it ain't so. If only we had a defensive coordinator who liked to put pressure on quarterbacks.
We do. And we like to almost sack quarterbacks too. That's the problem. Like that has to change. Shaq, you had your hand raised too, thinking that this team could still make the playoffs. What's your reasoning?
My reasoning is because I feel like the Vikings, we just haven't played a complete game yet. It's been flashes like we usually have, but we're not making those explosive plays that we did with Kirk Cousins or Sam Darnold or even Dobbs for the short period he was winning games for us. It's like if we don't make those explosive plays when we have to think and dunk down the field, get those short to intermediate routes, and then get out of bounds, it's like it looks choppy. So I'm just hoping, we continue to run the ball. Our running backs continue to get 5 yards of carry, make it short yardage for J.J. McCarthy. He makes the simple throws. Our receivers, who both are number ones, make the elite catches they used to making, and we can easily be that good Minnesota Vikings offense we used to seeing.
I mean, I kind of agree with Tommy here because he said we just haven't played a complete game yet, and we just got to do that. But we're 10 games in, and we haven't played a complete game yet. What makes you think we're going to?
Yeah, the fact that we finally getting healthy.
We had a pretty good offense.
JJ McCarthy, we forget JJ McCarthy came back this year, played 2 games. We see him get hurt in week 2. He didn't play 10 games this year. He only played 5? Offensive line, we had so many offensive line combinations. It's kind of hard to get going with a rookie quarterback and so many different offensive line options. To top it off, Carson Wentz, who we picked up during preseason. I can't hear anything. He came right before. No, I think he even played preseason with us. He came right after preseason started. So it's like we how long does it take? It's not going to be 6 weeks, 7 weeks. It takes time to build a team.
Bears fans are starting to feel themselves. Just watch.
That's good.
Watch for that floor. Watch for that floor to be pulled from under you.
I mean,
what about you, Cody?
They got to play the Steelers and the Eagles the next 2 weeks. I pray for them.
I'm saying we're not a playoff team, but we're a respectable, fighting 9-win team. We're like that team that is going to take someone out of this division out of the playoffs. Is going to knock them out, right? I think that's where we're at right now with this progressing quarterback. And 5 different old line shifts, blah, blah, blah. He has the same amount of wins and losses as Carson Wentz does. Let's just face it. J.J. McCarthy has the same amount of wins as Carson Wentz does, same amount of losses as he does. We probably had the best offensive line on the field while J.J. McCarthy was playing in a game this year and last week, and we still lost. I think we're a good, respectable 9-win team. I love you, J.J. McCarthy. You need a lot more progressing, developing to go, but as a respectable 9-win team, I do think we take out them said Packers in week 18 out of the playoffs.
Is anybody thinking about the draft yet?
No.
You know me, I'm never thinking about the draft.
Even during the draft.
Yeah. Let me lay this out to you guys real quick about the playoffs. We're 3 games out from first place of the division, right? They're 7-3. We're 4-6. We could pretty conceivably be only 1 game out from the lead in the division after 2 weeks from now. We beat Green Bay, and the Bears. They got 2 tough games: Steelers and Steelers and Eagles. Then Green Bay has to play Detroit next week. We could conceivably be 1 game out. on the division at the end of next weekend.
You are the beacon of positivity, Michael Fish.
If we lose to the Packers this weekend, I know it's over.
Okay.
But
So
until
that's
I
your
hear
threshold.
that bell,
So we got to put the dog down is after this week.
Cody, would you rather go 10-7 and make the playoffs or get the number 10 pick overall in the draft?
Oh, 10-7 make the playoffs. You got a chance. There's nobody worth picking at 10 unless it's Jeremiah Love, but I think he goes earlier than 10.
What about you, Shaq? You taking that number 10 pick, or you want to limp into the playoffs and go play the Eagles?
I will say, for JJ McCarthy's development, I'd rather go to the playoffs because that gives him more time this season. I'm not trying to wait till next season. I want him to get as much experience as possible, get as many reps as possible, and if we lose in the playoffs, trade up. Just because we don't have the 10th pick does not mean we can't trade up. So you know what I'm saying? We got a bunch of picks that we don't need, trade up. Crazy. Your job is on the line, trade up. You don't got time to wait till 2028. We might not be here next year. So
Hold on. We said that 2 years ago. His job was on the line. You need to trade up. He did it, man.
Yeah, do it again. How many times did the Rams did not stop until they was like, we going to the Super Bowl. They kept trading picks.
And getting picks.
So Andrew does ask, what's the consensus on Donovan Jackson thus far? Thumbs up or thumbs down on where you're at with Jackson? There's your consensus.
That's a diagonal.
That was 4 thumbs up for anybody who's going to be listening to this and not watching. 4 thumbs up for Donovan Jackson. So, yeah, I think I'll take the playoffs over the top 10 pick, even though I wouldn't feel very confident in those playoffs. And, yeah, I know people in the comments are like, playoffs? I mean, we got to talk all the possibilities. And one more loss, we will be talking about the draft next week, honestly, and talking about roster moves and who's getting fired. But since there is, that little bit of sliver of hope, that's what we're going to talk about. Right now, the Vikings are 4-6. 7 times before in their history, they have been 4-6. With 2020 and 2014 being the last time, all 7 times they missed the playoffs. But that was 16 game seasons. There's an extra game now, so maybe a little more leeway. Since the start of the 17 game season, there have been 19 teams to start out 4-6. 5 of those 19 have gone on to make the playoffs, which is 26% of the teams. 2 of them being Tampa Bay when they won their division both times. So Tampa Bay started 4-6 twice and won their division. Green Bay and the Los Angeles Rams, they also did it in 2023 in the same season. So the Vikings were never able to come back from 4-6 in a 16 game season, but maybe in a 17 game season, they can do it, huh?
and not to mention the fact that our defense, our division hasn't been this weak in a while.
Yeah. So there's a chance. So you're saying there's a chance.
Yeah.
Rank the coaches in the NFC North, Cody.
NFC North coaches. 1, I'm going Green Bay's LaFleur. Right? And it sucks to say that because I fucking hate Green Bay. 2, Kevin O'Connell. 3, I'm going the newly acquired Bears head coach, Ben Johnson. And then dead last is Dan Campbell. I just don't think Dan Campbell, even with the roster he has, he just can't win big, massive games. We saw him lose to the Commanders in the playoffs, one and done after a huge 15-game winning season. Then we saw him get bounced in the playoffs again in the conference championship game. And he takes a lot of gambles. And if you look at the statistics, I don't think most of them work out for them. And they're in big moments. I don't think he's not big moment Dan. It's just a gambling Dan. So it's Dan Campbell as number 4. LaFleur, KOC, Johnson, Dan Campbell. Those are the rankings.
You agree with those rankings, Fish?
Nope.
Oh,
He had his fire.
Ben Johnson's one.
Really? Already?
Look what he did. Look what he did with that franchise. Like that Bears fan that joined us said, I can't believe it. I mean, I have to give him some credence until he fails.
I'm gonna get you on this one.
And then, okay, so like Cody said, Dan Campbell probably has the best roster in the NFC North. Ben Johnson leaves, Aaron Glenn leaves, and he's asked. So I'm gonna put Dan Campbell fourth. I'm gonna put Matt LaFleur third and KOC second. And the only reason I have KOC ranked second is because of the absolute catastrophe that is happening to those other two teams. It is so I don't put him second because he's that good. I put him second because the other two are that bad.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like you're hating on Dan Campbell, but he did the same thing that Ben Johnson did. Like, look what that franchise was before Dan Campbell.
How long ago was that?
What does it matter? They've been what, 2 NFC championships?
Okay, I thought we were talking about this year.
Ben Johnson's doing the same thing KOC did at his first year, also beating bad teams.
This is just ranking them overall, like overall.
I'm sorry. I was just kind of doing this year. I mean, overall, yeah, Dan Campbell picked Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn to be his coordinators. He would probably be number 2 for that. But standing on their own and this year and what's going on, I'll stand by my ranking.
Dan Campbell has one more win than KOC in the playoffs?
I mean, JJL 2004, you could say the same thing about the Lions. They ain't beaten anybody good yet either.
That is true. Like, the division is kind of weak. This is the strength of victories. The Vikings' strength of victory is 450. So their opponents are, slightly under 500. The teams they beat. Lions are at 426, Packers at 371, and the Bears are at 285.
No way.
Like, what is that, like a 1-5 team that the Bears average victory comes against? Or 1-4? I'm not good with math. Like Lucy said, I was told there'd be no math, but yeah, we're not. None of these teams are beating anybody really good. This North is not the same North that it was last year.
And I don't think it was even good that last year either. I'm going to say it right then. Both top teams in the NFL got bouncing the first time they played in the playoffs.
So I do want to address some things that I have seen from this fan base on social media. And the first one comes from our buddy, Tommy Unk. He says, with Sam Darnold, the Vikings are 7-3 easily. Are you buying or selling this, Shaq?
I don't think we'd be 7-3. I think we'll probably be 6-4 due to our defense not making as many turnovers as they did last year, giving us good field position. And I feel like also the turnaround for our offensive line. Like, yeah, we seen how bad our offensive line played last year, but we kind of traded for Robinson last year to play left tackle, and only Darisaw was really hurt last year compared to having to play so many different offensive line matchups. So I feel like we would have won more games with Sam Darnold, but I don't think we'd be 7-3. I think we'd be 6-4.
Oh, okay. 1 game difference. What about you, Cody? You buying it 7-3 with Sam Darnold?
I want to say 5-5 just because Sam Darnold has turned the ball over 60% of the time this year. He's at least got 1 interception in 6 out of the 10 games. I think he's 3rd in the league in interceptions right now. So I'd say we're 5-5. I do think we hit a lot more big plays, chunk plays down the field than we are with JJ McCarthy. But I think we're just a 5-5 team. What we probably should have been last year, in what I think was still a weak division we had last year compared to what we were playing against. This 5-5, 500 team.
So not much better. Fish.
I think my very first Gallahorn hot take. I think we were 3-4. I said we would have the exact same record if Sam Darnold was our starting quarterback. I'll stand by that. However, I believe that the last 3 games where we've lost, I believe we would have won with him. So I say 6-4 also.
And you only have to pay $100 million to do it.
Bang. How about them?
So, Tommy, I don't think anybody's agreeing with 7-3 with you, but they are agreeing that we would be in a much better playoff position with Sam Darnold this year, which I don't know if that's saying very much, because you're talking about a rookie quarterback and Carson Wentz, that, you know, a quarterback coming back for a second year with the team.
Mm-hmm.
But point well taken.
If we do sign Darnold to that $100 million plus contract, who do we lose on defense? And is the defense
nobody that was making a that is making a difference?
Yeah, that's not a very good argument, because all the players that we signed, I mean, Isaiah Rodgers, and he's been kind of up and down. You're not gonna tell me that we're gonna miss Hargrave and Jonathan Allen.
They weren't bad last game, were they? The 3 straight games now.
No, they haven't been great either. I mean,
I only know 2 games where Hargrave was good, and I have yet to see a game where Allen is good.
Well, do we resign?
See, we see Allen. See, that's the problem. We see Allen make a play or two. We're like, oh, he had a good game. No, that's not what we signed him for. Like,
but
we're holding to the same standard as Dallas Turner.
Mm-hmm. So we take away the guy that's tied for 3rd in sacks on this team, Hargrave.
And how many sacks is that, Cody? Because our whole team's not getting sacks. So 3. Yeah,
more is needed, right, from the edges.
His 3 sacks can go.
Yeah, so can the 4 sacks from Redmond, I guess, too. Like, the whole team's sack is not happening. So then why we resign?
Redmond has more sacks, and he's getting paid 1/10 of what Hargrave's getting paid.
Van Ginkel after his second year team All-Pro.
Yeah, Van Ginkel has missed most of the season, so yeah, we're losing money.
I believe the question was, what of our free agents, if we had to pay Darnold, would we have not been able to sign?
You wouldn't have been able to pay Ginkel.
We already paid Ginkel,
knowing that Sam Darnold is probably going.
So we
yes.
we gave Van Ginkel,
yes,
right.
I wish we kept buying him over Murphy. Yes, I wish we didn't pay. See, if we would have signed Sam Darnold, we might not have had money to pay Murphy all that damn money, and that's a plus.
Yeah, that's a plus.
So, another thing I see coming up is people talking about we're wasting Justin Jefferson's prime with this rookie quarterback, and Justin Jefferson's going to force his way out. You guys buying or selling that?
Selling.
Fish?
I might have bid on that a little bit last week. I think he kind of righted the ship with his attitude. I think if we can win a few games, he'll be happier. I honestly believe he wants wins more than stats at this point. With the wins, the stats will come for him.
What if JJ? I mean, see, it's hard with the 2 JJs, and they're playing like the most important positions on offense for us. But what if Justin Jefferson came to the team in the offseason and said he can't do the season with JJ McCarthy? Like, he's not going to do it. He's not going to play. Would you trade him, or would you axe JJ McCarthy? You would axe JJ McCarthy?
I'm axing, dude, because every quarterback that Justin Jefferson's played with, he's been phenomenal with. Even that's including Jaron Hall for his one play, right? I think a 19.6 receiving average with Jaron Hall through his one series. So, like, yeah, I'm sorry, JJ McCarthy, you got to go. I get it, but he's got to go. I'm keeping Justin Jefferson. There's no way. Every quarterback that Justin Jefferson has played with has been good while he's on the field. Something's different right now.
I gotta get Fish's opinion on this.
I am absolutely trading the Kirk Cousins of wide receivers. All stats, no wins.
That's why I asked you, because I knew that's probably the direction you would go, and you probably wouldn't care who the quarterback is.
I will tell you what. Great player. I am going back to my core belief. That position should not be paid that much damn money. I'm sorry. It is not a need position. It is a want position. We could trade him. The offense goes better with Jordan Addison running right than it does with Justin Jefferson. Sorry, but it does. So I would much rather trade JJ, pay Jordan Addison like 25, 20, 30 million, somewhere there, because he's going to take a penalty for all his off the field shenanigans, and then find a fucking tight end that can play like a tight end one.
So you'd pay Jordan Addison $5 million less a year just to keep him to trade JJ?
Absolutely. If JJ came with an ultimatum, absolutely.
So the ultimatum's part of it.
The ultimatum's part of it. I don't want that. That takes away from the team concept. That's me. That's not us.
We don't know who we are.
We're going to know a lot less of who we are if the team is captained, if the ship is captained by a wide receiver. You cannot have a wide receiver be the dominant voice because they're divas inherently.
All right. Well, the theme of the night has kind of been, is this team still a playoff team, or is it time to start looking forward to next season? So we start looking towards the draft already? Or are we just worried about, JJ McCarthy's development? Technically, our playoffs start this week, and it's against the Green Bay Packers, who are coming off a 27-20 win against the New York Giants. Packers have lost 2 of their last 3. This is the first meeting between the two teams, and we will meet again in Week 18. Don't know if that will mean as much as we had hoped that game will mean, but it could mean everything. We don't know yet. Packers are currently sitting in a playoff spot, while the Vikings are just beginning their playoff run. Packers lead the all-time series 66-60 with 3 ties. Vikings won both games last year and have won 4 of the last 6. Last I checked, the Packers were 6.5-point favorites at Lambeau Field. I don't know if that's changed at all, Cody.
Nope.
So 6.5-point favorite. I like that. And if you check was it on the NFL Network, they all pick Green Bay to win. And I like when that happens. I don't like when they start going on our side. And I don't like when one person picks us. I was like, you just messed it up. So I like when I see the screen, all the opponents. And speaking of opponents, let's bring in some enemies to Skol with.
Ooh.
All right.
Let's get these Packer fans in here. We got Marcus. What's up, Marcus?
What up, Marcus?
Talk. No, I can't hear you.
Marcus.
Marcus got no sound.
Packers related issues.
We didn't really need to hear from him anyway. Moving on.
I'll just use this mic. I have my Blue Yeti, but you guys hear me with this?
Yeah, we got you now.
Okay, perfect. I'll use this. How you guys doing?
We're good. And Marcus joined us last year, so
Yep.
He's making a repeat appearance. We also got Brandon joining us. What's up, Brandon?
Hey, what's up, boys?
What's up, Brandon?
So
What's going on?
Special plays.
Thank you guys for agreeing to come on here. We enjoyed doing this segment with the opposition coming to the game, get a little bit of perspective. Brandon, why don't you tell us your background as a Packers fan?
Dude, I've been a Packers fan since before I knew what football was. My dad would sit here and tell you I liked Aaron Rodgers before I could speak. I had Packers games recorded on my TV upstairs. I remember Brett Favre when he went to the Vikings. I specifically recorded his game against the Jets. I would watch that all the time, be up there acting like I was him, throwing football. So, I mean, I've just always loved him, man.
And
And
are
I'm
you in
from
Wisconsin?
Kentucky. No, I'm
Okay.
from Kentucky. So, yeah,
What part?
Bitch.
Lexington.
Okay. I'm way over in the west. I live over by Paducah in Murray.
Okay,
Where
yeah.
Murray State is.
Okay, so Fish find some common ground with the Packer fan. All right,
That's
Marcus,
where it is.
remind us your background as a Packer fan.
I've been a Packers fan as long as I can remember. I remember when my first jersey was an AJ Hawk jersey. I still have it. I don't think it's in this closet. But my first jersey was an AJ Hawk jersey. I was a part of the Brett Favre era. I don't know if that makes me old now, but I caught the tail end of Brett Favre. I remember the year we moved on from Brett Favre after the whole retirement thing for the second time. We traded him to the Jets. I remember being absolutely destroyed. And then, you naturally don't kind of like the new guy, even though it wasn't Aaron's fault, but obviously he won me over pretty fast.
What was it like seeing Brett Favre as a Viking?
It was awful. That's the only way to describe it. It was awful. Because when he went from the Jets and then signed with the Vikings, I just felt that was the biggest betrayal ever. But then as I'm old, I'm like, wait, we're the ones that got rid of him. So
He always gives speeches like this.
What was funny about that is the Packers had traded him to the Jets, but there was something in his clause saying that they can't trade him to an NFC North team. So I kind of feel like Favre kind of played bad on purpose to get cut because that was the only way he wanted to come to the Vikings because he wanted to play against the Packers. And
because
they
Michael
weren't
Parsons
allowed
has
to trade him
something
there.
that in his contract.
Yeah.
We can't trade him to an NFC East team, or we have to give Dallas another one of our 2028 first round pick.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they
So,
can't trade Kenny to an NFC North team.
That's probably just something that we don't hear about too often unless it's like a high caliber player, but it probably happens all the time because you don't want that to happen. So, Brandon, what is your feelings towards the Vikings and Vikings fans? And it's okay to be real.
Nah, bro. So, like, growing up, you guys were really the only other relevant team, right? I mean, the Bears and Lions were trash. So, I feel like y'all have been our biggest. I mean, obviously the Bears are our biggest rival, but like you guys have been our biggest competition in the NFC North for the last decade. So, I mean, I don't really like the Vikings.
Dude, that's fine. That's fine because you're gonna find that we don't really like the Packers. We're gonna be respectful and everything, but nah, it's cool, man. You can say whatever you want to say. Like when you see somebody wearing a Viking hat, does that make you feel some type of way?
Nah, like I respect Vikings fans, I guess. Like I'm not gonna trash on them like Bears fans, but I mean, I was a big hater of Kirk Cousins. I'll say that because he was actually
us too
pretty good quarterback. Oh, okay, well, okay.
Shaq loved him.
Hey, I honestly, when he went to the Falcons, I thought that was gonna work, and clearly it did not.
Yeah, it worked for him. He got paid.
Hey, Brandon, there's a guy named Tommy Kiger. He's asking if you heard about him. He says he's legendary over in your parts.
He's also about 30 years older than you.
I never heard of that man, but
Marcus, what about you? What's your feeling towards the Vikings and towards Vikings fans besides Shaq, of course?
Yeah.
That's the crazy part. Obviously, growing up, the Vikings were the team because the Bears had that short stint where they were competitive, but for the most part of my life, the Bears haven't been competitive. But obviously, historically, they're our biggest rival. The Lions were dumpster fires until recently, and then their fans are just the worst now that they're winning or seeing a little bit of success. So those two definitely are higher on the list of hate than you all. Every Vikings fan I met was actually pretty chill in real life. I've met surprisingly a lot to be in Maryland, but like Shaq. And so, but they're all pretty cool actually. And I am a shareholder. Alex, I see that in the chat. Watch them brag about being a shareholder. I am.
I got things to say about that, but I'm not going to say it tonight.
How do you get your shares from being from Maryland? That's
they don't. It's certain times where they'll do it, like when they're raising money, and then you have to get it in that window, and there's a certain amount.
Yeah, you can live anywhere and get it.
It's on Robinhood.
It's like a lot of.
No.
I'm about to buy some
I'm about to become a
Want some
shareholder so I can attend the meeting.
Do they even send? Do they send to you guys, or you just like hit print?
It comes in the mail. They have the whole song and dance with the thank you shareholder, congratulations, and they have the whole. You don't really vote or there's no voting shares or anything like that. It's more ceremonial than anything.
What's the return on investment in being a Packers shareholder?
Nothing.
Okay.
Nothing financially. Nothing
So
financially.
let's go ahead and get into this. Like right off the bat, Brandon, why are the 2025 Packers better than the 2025 Vikings?
I mean, right now, I think it just comes down to quarterback play, right? I mean, JJ McCarthy, his misses are bad. I mean, and we've seen, like against the Bears last week and in the first game of the season, he's had those 2-minute drives where he's gone down the field and scored and looked good. But I mean, he's got to put together some complete games. Jordan Love, you look at his stats. I mean, it's probably hard to convince people that he's been a top 10 quarterback, but he has. Like last week, we had 6 drops against the Giants, right? He has a 80% completion percentage without those drops in that game, like 270 yards without any yards after catch, if you take out the drops. His ball placement last week on a windy day was absolutely elite. And then obviously going out and getting Micah Parsons. This is the first time in my life I think I can say that we can actually rely on our defense over our offense. Our pass rush, we get home with 4. Jeff Hafley rarely blitzes. Now, granted, our cornerbacks are Keyshawn Nixon and Carrington Valentine. Carrington Valentine's played pretty well, but I'm sure you guys know what Justin Jefferson does to Keyshawn Nixon. So,
Yeah, looking forward to that one for sure.
yeah.
Cody, why are the Vikings better than the Packers?
Oof. It's Toyotathon, right? So it can't be quarterback.
Yep. Started this week.
I'm gonna say, you know what? I'm gonna say our defense. I think our defense is more complex against quarterbacks than what yours is against just rushing 4. You guys are one hell of a built defensive team, and I think we're in trouble this Sunday because of that. But I think our defense will show up more this Sunday than what your defense will, even though it's probably going to be a slugfest and you guys come out with the win with slightly over us. But I think it's our defense. I love the way we're playing, even though we're missing Jonathan Grenard. We just keep sending it with different dudes. We just had Dallas Turner step up when he finally gets over 15% of snaps on the field. So it's kind of nice to see that. And I think it's because of our Brian Flores, our defensive coordinator, and what he can draw up.
All right. So I've seen a lot from your fan base the past couple of weeks. It seems like they're down on your coach, Matt LaFleur. Is that true? And where are you at with him, Brandon? Get you next, Marcus.
Man, see, I don't agree with that at all. I mean, people just look for something to blame after losses. And I think the easiest thing to go to is, man, our coach sucks. The play calling was terrible. If you actually dive into why we've lost some of these games, our offensive line has not been good this year. I mean, Josh Jacobs isn't even averaging a yard before contact. Like,
Oh, I like that. Go ahead
yeah,
and say
no,
that.
the run game has been non-existent, man. I mean, it's picked up over the last couple of games, but at the beginning of the year, it was terrible. Like against the Browns, Jordan Love was sacked 5 times. And then the Panthers game, I mean, that just came down to red zone, dude. We were 1 of 5 in the red zone. It was not good at all.
We are pretty good in the red zone.
Well, no, over the course of the year, we are really good in the red zone, but just that specific loss, I think that's why
you
we
guys are
lost the
like
game.
third in scoring touchdowns in the red
Yeah.
zone. I saw. Marcus, do you agree with him on the floor, or are you one of the ones that are kind of out on him?
No. In the moment, you know, you're looking, like you say, looking for something to blame. You're frustrated, but overall, Matt's done a really good job. I mean, the team. I don't like the team is young excuse, but we're really banged up. I mean, when you look at our injury report, it's easier to count it in 2s. We have 18 people on it this week, and so with our mixed match offensive line, Belton, we drafted him in the second round. He really hasn't found a role on the offensive line. He's been struggling, so that doesn't help the situation. And so that makes play calling inherently hard. When your running back can't get more than a yard before contact, you can't establish the run, which he likes to do. And then you play the play action off of that. And then your quarterback doesn't really have time. And Jordan Love has actually cleaned up the turnovers this year. So only 3 on 3 interceptions. You can't complain with that. So he's done his part. But overall, with an offensive line like that, there's not a whole lot Matt can do.
And the same thing with your quarterback. Like I've actually seen, I think you guys are both in on Jordan Love, but I've seen a portion of your fan base that isn't too happy with Jordan Love. Like I actually saw somebody like being a TikTok saying that they want to bench Jordan Love from Malik Willis.
Bro, dude, you see so
TikTok
much of that
wild.
stuff. It's like even on Twitter, bro. It's like, what are we talking about? Like, and then Malik Willis gets in the game, and they're like, Matt LaFleur calls a completely different game with Malik. And Matt LaFleur after the game's like, dude, that play was in for Jordan. It's just they just complain. It's so stupid.
Yeah.
So Cody kind of alluded to it. What is Toyotathon? Like I know that's when Toyota has their sales, and that just started yesterday, I believe. What is Toyotathon to a Green Bay Packer fan?
It means elite Jordan Love.
Yeah.
That's what it means. You're going to watch some great football this Sunday.
So does he typically get hot during like November to January?
Yeah.
Let me find the
And
numbers.
so you go ahead.
Go ahead.
Just like so before Toyotathon's usually the first 2 months of the season. And I mean his stats are bad mainly because obviously 2 years ago was his first season as the starter. He got off to a really slow start, and then last season with the injury, he was trying to battle through. His stats weren't that good, but I mean, later down the stretch, it's like the last 8 games of the season. He's got like a 24-2 touchdown to interception ratio. It's crazy.
Damn.
It's like his completion percentage before Toyotathon's 59%. Once Toyotathon starts, it's 70. So yeah, like you look at the margins, it's actually kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Well,
and we're 12
don't
and
get
1
too excited yet.
We're 12 and 1 during Toyota.
12 and 1.
That too.
So don't get too excited because we haven't seen Toyotathon and JJ McCarthy yet. No, there may be something to that.
Well, I think
Toyotathon
is. I think Toyotathon's. It's not from Jordan Love. It's from LaFleur as your head coach. That's why I made him number 1 because every single year he comes out with a different offensive philosophy, a different offensive scheme, and I think it's Jordan Love getting used to it, the new offensive scheme every year for those first 2 months, and then he finally gets it and he starts hitting it. That's what I think it is. That's why you see LaFleur always in the playoffs every single year because he's not the same coach every single year. He's a different coach every single year.
Yeah. And
Shaq,
if some Packers fans got their way and we fired Matt LaFleur, he wouldn't be on the market for more than a day.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dude, I've made a video about that, and people want to disagree with me. I'm like, bro, some of these teams might fire their coach to go get LaFleur. Like,
yes,
like you guys are nuts.
Did you say
Yeah,
Keith?
I thought it was kind of crazy, but like I heard that getting pretty loud the past couple of weeks, and it's just funny like hearing them complain about it. Like you said, if the Packers would let him go, he'd be signed the next day. And I kind of feel that way with our coach. And right now we're kind of getting that too because we're having a down season, and they're all saying like, should we be firing KOC? I'm like, the man just won Coach of the Year last year. Like, are you serious right now? Shaq, how would you rank the quarterbacks in the NFC North? 1 to 4.
1 to 4. Oh, I love this one. First, I will have. Unfortunately, I'll have Jordan Love.
Yeah.
Second, I will have Caleb Williams.
Okay.
Third, I'll have Jared Goff. Fourth, I'll have JJ McCarthy. I'm not talking
Carson.
I'm
I might have Carson Wentz 4th.
right now. So it'll be JJ McCarthy.
You agree with those rankings, Cody?
Yeah. I would go.
You got
Love
Love number 1?
Not Jordan Love at number 1. I think if you take Jordan Love on any other football team, not named Matt LaFleur's football team, he's not that good. I think it's his back foot moonballs he sends in the air what gets him in a lot of trouble. And you can see it through the stages of the game. I'm going Jared Goff as 1. Then I would put Jordan Love as 2, and then Caleb Williams just right next to him at 3, and then our quarterback JJ McCarthy.
If Goff was on the Vikings or Packers, we'd both be looking at a top 10 pick.
No, if Jared Goff was on the Minnesota Vikings, we'd have another Kirk Cousins and probably win a playoff game.
But he folds under pressure. He needs blocking to be elite 24.
Just like your boy Sam Darnold.
No, Sam Darnold actually rolls out of the pocket.
Yeah, folds under pressure.
He makes actual Mahomes type throws versus I've never seen Jared Goff really go out of the pocket.
Doesn't win a playoff game.
Don't get Shaq started on Sam Darnold.
I think Sam will get a playoff game this year, though.
Yeah, who cares about
he'll play in one.
Finch has won 5 playoff games. Is he a Hall of Fame quarterback? Like, what are we saying?
You saw what Sam Darnold did with the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah,
he lost by 19 to the Rams.
1 year. Remember, he didn't play with us for 3 years. He only played with us 1 year.
27 new players on turnover.
Jared Goff played under Sean McVay, who is an elite Hall of Fame head coach, and he played under Ben Johnson and freaking Dan Campbell.
But we're here complaining about
and been to a Super Bowl and an NFC Championship game
with elite teams. We don't have the weapons overall that the Lions do. You see their offensive line? We never had an offensive line block like Jared Goff has.
We had it last week.
A whole week. This guy be having it for whole seasons. They could have beat the 49ers if Dan Campbell wasn't stupid enough. All he had to do was keep handing the ball off to Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery, who averaged 6-7 yards a carry.
They tried doing that. It didn't work.
I thought I was high on Sam Darnold. I didn't realize. I do have a favorable opinion about
Shaq
Sam.
Is super high.
Yeah,
I just don't
and,
like golf.
and high on Sam Darnold.
I thought y'all should have resigned him.
Golf is trash.
It's because Goff's from California, University of Cal, and he's a USC fan.
Oh, okay, it's deeper. Okay, I see what this is.
Aaron Rodgers went to Cal.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers went to Cal.
So, Marcus, what would you say is the Packers' identity this year?
Defense, surprisingly, for the first time. Well, last year you probably could have said that a little bit too, because Heffley's the man. I mean, he like pretty much overnight from Pettin, turned this defense around, and so that would be what I call our identity this year. Offensively, we've been a little inconsistent, so I can't really pinpoint. Offensively, I can't give us the offensive identity to be our big one, but it's definitely our defense with Micah Parsons. He was able to unlock Rashawn Gary. Rashawn Gary has 7.5 sacks. He was looking really overpaid. Now he doesn't get as many pressures as I'd like, but when he gets to the quarterback, he finishes the job. And I think between Micah Parsons, Heffley, I think Brandon alluded to it earlier. We have Carrington Valentine, Keyshawn Nixon as our top safeties. Valentine's been very good. I do like what I see out of him. And that has allowed us not to have the greatest secondary or corners in specific and still have this caliber of defense. So Heffley and the defense is our identity.
You agree with that, Brandon?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, offensively, I think Matt LaFleur wants the ground game to be our identity, but like I said, the offensive line has not played well. They went out in the offseason, drafted Anthony Belton, as Marcus alluded to earlier, and then dude from the Niners, Aaron Banks, went out and picked him up. 2 320-plus pound dudes, really wanted to get big and run the ball, and it just hasn't worked.
Yeah, Banks does not look like the best signing right now. Or Hobbs, really.
Oh, but both of them. And I think they have outs at the end of the year if they wanted to get out of them. I don't know if they will or not. But, yeah, those 2 free agent signings have not paid off.
I think that's good
to hear about Banks because I think we were in on Banks too, but he was one that kind of had that high bust potential for a free agent, to be honest. That was the notes coming out in the offseason. So it's good to hear that it's not working out for you guys, because when you guys signed him, it was like, damn it, it's going to end up working out.
No, he hasn't played well. He's been injured. I mean, it's all the above. It's not been good.
I think we'll probably cut our loss. I think if we let him go, it'll all in be a 1-year, $18 million deal if we end up letting them go. So you guys may get a chance this off season if you want to try it again.
No, we're good. We're good. We're good, man. So, Fish, you're hearing that their identity is more on the defensive side of the ball. How does that make you feel going into this game? Because, I mean, I think typically we think of the Packers, we kind of worry more about what they're doing on the offense, and, defense is kind of secondary as of late. But they're telling us the defense is kind of their strength.
Well, I'm gonna echo the sentiment of Brandon. He said earlier, if it wasn't for the drops, Jordan Love would have had an 80% completion rate. Well, if it wasn't for our drops, I believe JJ McCarthy's completion rate would have been 72%. So all we need is just a little bit of click, and we'll be able to get past that defense. I feel pretty good. I don't think they got anybody that can shut down Jets other than our quarterback. Our quarterback is the only person that can shut down Jets on the offense. So if he just starts to play a little well, we'll be all right. Our offensive line is playing very well as of late, which was a problem at the beginning of the season. Our special teams, still waiting for Miles Price to bust one open. And our defense is playing great. Top 10 in yards, actually. So I predict a shootout.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I don't know if I do, and I don't know if I want that, but I think both of our strengths are actually defense, so that's going to be kind of odd if it goes into a shootout.
I think this game's going to be like 60 total points.
That's a lot of points.
Yeah, it's going to be like 58-2. We're going to let you get a safety. No, but I think we're in line for a shootout.
What do you think,
all the
Cody?
division games are unpredictable.
Yeah, for sure. Doesn't matter what the records are, especially against these two teams. Like, you can throw the records out the window.
Yeah.
But Cody, they're saying that they're more of a defensive identity, but they still have a good offense. How do you think we're going to stack up against that?
Yeah, this year it's a weird NFL year, and it's for all teams. I still think your guys' identity is offense, and it's running through Josh Jacobs. But the issue is Josh Jacobs going to play Sunday? So without Josh Jacobs, yes, I'll give you're going to have to be a defensive identity this Sunday. How we stack up against it, even with Josh Jacobs out, I still think it's going to be a very tight, close game, and it's still going to be won by a field goal. Right now, who do I think it's going to be won by? I don't know. I got to see how the injury report coming up for tomorrow is to say who's going to win by that field goal. But
well, damn good thing we don't ask for a point prediction in this thing, huh?
It's coming. I'm about to flip a quarter. I'm going to let you know that right now.
So, Brandon, if you were coaching against the Packers, what would your game plan be to beat them?
Oh, yeah, man. I mean, you want to basically control the game, limit the possessions for the Packers, run the ball. That's and efficiently. That's what the Giants were able to do, and kept the ball out of Jordan Love's hands. Defensively, it's been pretty easy this year. You play too high, soft zone, which gives the Packers the look to run the ball. Problem is, we haven't been able to run the ball. And then you make Jordan Love throw the underneath stuff, take the check downs. He gets impatient, and you see all in the Carolina game, throws in triple coverage. Now, granted, he's taken care of the ball very well this year, but when he does get impatient, that's when you see the throws like that.
Damn. I didn't like anything you said right there, because one thing we're not doing is controlling the ball on the offensive side. We're having quick drives, whether it's a score or not a score. More often than not, it hasn't been a score, and we can run the ball, and that's what's infuriating. We can run the ball. We got Aaron Jones and Jordan Mason. They're averaging 5 yards a carry. They get it going, but our coach just is in love with the pass, and it breaks my heart seeing us gashing teams, and then all of a sudden we do like 4 or 5 passes in a row, and then it gets us totally off of that game. So that's a bummer to hear, actually. Marcus, same question to you. If you were coaching against the Packers, what would be your game plan to beat them?
You pretty much took the words right out of my mouth. I wrote it down right here, and I was like, and then when I heard him say, I said, we pretty much have the same game plan. Put two over the top, make them run the ball, and that's just something we haven't been able to do. Typically, teams with good tackles also give us trouble because our offensive line, we have a lot of guys playing their secondary position right now. A lot of guys are having to play banged up because we just don't have enough right now. And so when you're able to control up front, it's going to force us to make those third. Once you get us on third and long, you pretty much have us. And then we have those quick 3-and-outs like
Oh
we've had versus
no.
the Giants, like we had late versus Cleveland,
No, we
Carolina.
do not, sir. You've got us right where you want us when it's third and 12 plus. You got us right where you want
Both
us.
of us going to be like, oh, at the same time.
Yeah.
It's funny the way you guys say two high safeties because we run that 62% of the time on our defense.
I've seen that.
Eh.
But
When
a lot of
teams do that,
teams,
they get ahead of us.
yeah, a lot of teams that don't even usually typically run it will switch to that when they're playing us.
We don't switch out of it. We just keep doing it.
Yeah.
So something I saw that the Giants were doing kind of effectively against you guys was kind of middle zone, over the middle of the field passes and screen passes. Like that seemed to work well against you guys. Would you say you guys kind of have a soft middle?
Oh, the screen passes against the Giants, they were killing us, and I don't know why. Because typically, Quay Walker and Ezra Cooper, I mean, they sniff that stuff out.
Usually.
Yeah, but against the Giants, it was crazy.
So that's not typical then, because I really haven't
Nah.
watched the full Packer game, but I went and watched the condensed version of the Giants Packer game, and I was like, man, they're screening them to death. And then the other thing I noticed, over the middle of the field, passes were there, and it's I noticed that because I noticed that with the Vikings. We're soft over the middle on the passes. Is that something that you've noticed with your defense, or that's not a trend?
I wouldn't say that. Oh, that freeze.
I'll say the Giants game was really an anomaly.
You didn't freeze.
I didn't mean to cut you off, Brandon. Sorry.
No. My screen froze, so I was worried. You go ahead.
Yeah, but the Giants game was really an anomaly, I would say, because Cooper and Quay Walker, they usually snuff the ball out. They usually get in there, we're gang tackling, and versus just nothing like that was happening, and that was a frustrating game to watch too, because our defense doesn't usually play like that, and then to see Jackson Dart come. Oh no, Jameis Winston, and Jameis is just a different kind of guy. I'm sorry. When I heard Jameis was playing over Russell Wilson, I fell to my knees in Walmart. I was like, why us? Why do we have to play against Jameis? He's out there having fun, making plays, and so when he plays like he has nothing to lose, and that's one of the more dangerous kind of people to play against because they take a lot more chances.
I'm not gonna lie, buddy. When we found out Jameis was starting last week, I think these guys were all like, nah, Jameis gonna, and I was like, no, man, I'm picking the Giants to win this game now. It could have been Russ Wilson, y'all killed him, but I was like, and it almost came true. Jameis is somebody that I would be interested to have as a backup quarterback for sure.
Yeah.
You guys find it a coincidence? You guys say screens beat you. In Dallas, to beat Dallas's defense was the screen against Micah Parsons. Do you guys think that's a coincidence since you guys added him?
See, I don't think so because it hasn't been that way for the entire season. I mean, but that is something the Giants took advantage of, and they are in his division or were in his division. So maybe that was something they saw in film and knew they could take advantage of. But as to the stuff over the middle, I mean, I noticed in the Giants game, there were a lot of open receivers, and that wasn't too typical of this Packers defense, especially that first drive of the game. I mean, there were 2 or 3 that were just wide open. It was like, what are we doing?
Hey, Marcus, to the person who's not a Packers fan, give us a player that maybe they might not have heard of that they should be watching out for in this game. He could be a difference maker.
I will say offensively, they probably heard him because if Josh Jacobs doesn't play, Emmanuel Wilson's going to be getting become the feature back.
Pick him up in all fantasy.
Yep.
Yeah, Emmanuel Wilson's going to be used a lot. He's pretty much going to fill in Josh Jacobs. I don't think Matt's going to change the offense too much in regards to how he plans on running it, whether Josh Jacobs is there, whether it's Emmanuel Wilson, either it's Chris Brooks, who hasn't played a whole lot this year, but without Josh Jacobs, Savion Williams and Chris Brooks are going to have to fill in on those off downs. So offensively, I'd say Emmanuel Wilson, and then defensively, it would be I had two when I wrote it out, like in my head, and I was like, well, no, Emmanuel Wilson.
You just
But,
way to be greedy, buddy. Way to be
I'm sorry.
greedy.
I'm sorry. I'll stop there. I'll
You're
stop.
probably
there.
about to take Brandon's.
No, I'm sorry. I'll
Brandon's
stop there. Right.
guy.
I'll stop there. But Emmanuel
Nah,
Wilson's
nah.
my guy.
No, he already took my guy. That was my
I
guy.
did.
Yeah.
Well, sorry, Brandon, but I'm putting you on the spot. Who you got?
Dude, let's go Evan Williams, because I don't know if like a typical fan knows too much about him, but I mean, he was a rookie last season. Actually, Javon Bullard, who was a safety, was drafted ahead of Evan Williams, and I mean, Evan Williams took his spot within the first couple of weeks and hasn't looked back. Had the game-winning interception last week against the Giants, so look for him to be big in coverage, especially with Keyshawn Nixon on Jay Jettis.
Evan Williams is really starting to come into his own.
Yeah, and especially he's good in run D too.
So, Shaq, who do you have for a lesser-known Vikings that these guys should watch out for?
He's probably well known now since he's been playing Green Bay a long time. I'm gonna go with the fullback CJ Ham. The reason I brought CJ Ham into play is because we're gonna need him to block for Jordan Mason and Aaron Jones. Y'all know Aaron Jones. We're gonna need
Love him.
we're gonna need CJ Ham to
Well, you
block
took mine.
when Michael Parsons is blitzing, or if y'all have Rashawn Gary coming off, we're gonna need CJ Ham to get those chip blocks, give JJ McCarthy some extra seconds to throw the ball, or even open up the lanes for our run game.
Who you got,
Damn,
Cody?
I was gonna go Aaron Jones.
Well, he wasn't my guy. I was going CJ Ham.
So we brought up CJ Ham twice this time. And it's back-to-back weeks. I know Jalen Redmond's coming out somewhere, so I can't say that one. I'm gonna go
Say
with
whatever you want.
I'm gonna go with Dallas Turner. I think he's been low key since the past week. Even though Greenard says he's going to be playing this Sunday, I think Dallas Turner showed enough to earn more than 20% of the snap share on the defense. So I'm hoping he splits even time with the three edges we have in Greenard and Ginkle, right? And I think that's going to be a low-key guy that you guys got to watch out for, right? And it's not going to be right away. It's going to be late in the game when it really, really matters.
Who you got, Keith?
I'm gonna go with a guy you guys probably don't know, and he's a linebacker. His name's Eric Wilson. You guys familiar with him? I just had to throw that one in there. But he was a Viking first, right? He was a Viking first, and then he was a Packer, then came back to the Vikings.
We got him off your P squad.
Nah, he had actually a balling out season for us, and then hit with you guys in free agency.
Oh, okay.
He replaced Eric Kendricks for us for 1 year while we
Gotcha.
had great
He balled out.
Hall of Fame defensive coordinator Ed Donatel.
But no, my real one is Jalen Naylor, our wide receiver 3. And he's been playing more like a wide receiver 2 and kind of been JJ McCarthy's favorite target or most trusted target. So I'm expecting actually a big game from Jalen Naylor, as long as they're not trying to just keep Justin Jefferson happy by force feeding him the ball. I could see Jalen Naylor having like a 100-yard day against you guys. I don't think we brought that name up yet.
No, he's new.
Are you guys familiar with Jalen Naylor?
I like Jalen.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't want to cut you off, but I do like Jalen. I actually like all y'all's receivers, to be honest.
You guys have formulated my opinion on this one, hearing you talk about your offensive line. And I want to preface this by saying I hated this draft pick. But I think that you're going to see the name Tyrion Ingram Dawes show up on the stat sheet a couple of times with maybe one or more sacks in this game.
So our 5th rounder, Tyrion Ingram Dawkins.
That's hot. That's hot coming out of Fish's mouth right now.
I
would
hated
trust
this
it
pick.
100%.
But he's going to come in rotation behind Jonathan Allen. And if you're that down on your offensive line, get ready.
I'm gonna keep my eye out for that.
Jordan Love's superpower is not taking sacks. Like defenses will get pressure on him, but he's very good at not taking sacks.
I'm not gonna lie, Brandon has said a lot of stuff I don't like today. Like, because like a lot of stuff what he says they're good at, I was like, well, damn, we're bad at defending that, or what they're bad at. I was like, well, damn, we're not good at doing that against teams. It's like we have struggled with mobile quarterbacks, and like it's become a running joke. It's like we have the most almost sacks in the NFL because we're getting to the quarterback. We're getting double-digit pressures, but getting 1 or 2 sacks, and watching our guys just spin off a quarterback. So not great to hear that, but we know that he's a little bit crafty back there in the backfield. So Cody, let's go ahead and hit these guys with our keys of the game, and then we'll ask you what your guys' key of the game is. But Cody, what's the first key of the game if we're going to beat the Packers?
So I mentioned it kind of earlier with the RPOs and the play actions. I was thinking, if you're running RPOs with Carson Wentz, why aren't you doing it with JJ McCarthy? That makes zero sense as a play calling standpoint that you haven't ran an RPO with JJ McCarthy. And the next point is coming into is when you run the ball on first down and you gain 7 to 8 yards, that is prime example time to use a play action deep shot because you can always run the ball on third down, which gets to the point is we don't like to run the ball on third and short for some reason, even though we're 70% completion percentage after getting the third and short. So RPOs, because you did it with Carson Wentz, you better do it with JJ McCarthy. He's more mobile, knows how to tuck it. It's what they ran in Michigan, and then play action on your second and shorts.
I like it. How you guys feel your defense is against the play action?
I haven't seen too much about us against play action, honestly.
Really? Maybe that's something we need to explore then for sure.
Yeah.
All right, Fish, what's your key to this game?
All right, so what's the universal way that you fix a quarterback when he's out of sync, he's out of touch, he's being inaccurate, he's having difficulties? You go up tempo. So I want them to go the first 2 drives of the game up tempo. First 2 drives of the game, Robbie. You go up tempo, make him not have to think about it so much. That gets the play calls in fast. It gets you up to the line fast and allows him to just play and not think. And it'll get him going, get him in sync with the wide receivers and the tight ends, and it'll help fix his game.
All right, yeah. So basically, you want us to start the game the way we finished the game last week.
Yeah, when we went into that 2-minute drive, he drove the length of the field. We were up tempo. It was a no huddle offense, and he just played the damn game and was very effective.
I like it. Let's get our quarterback in a groove. Shaq, what's our third key of the game?
Third key of the game is we gotta look like the last. I can't even say. Matter of fact, it would be the last. The last time the Vikings went to an NFC Championship game, 2017. We have to resemble that type of offense with this type of quarterback we have right now. Meaning, we got to rely on the run game. We can't be a pass-first offense. Right now, we have to be a run-first offense and then hit teams up over the head with the play action and trick plays. That's what we was good with when we had Case Keenum. We do the play action, he'll scramble a little, and then he'll hit the open targets when he needed to. And it worked. And then our defense will keep us in the game and keep the score low. So maybe if we control the clock better, have our defense play less minutes, we could play a more complete game and win more games. So against the Green Bay Packers, we need to resemble that 2017 season, which was another time we swept the Green Bay Packers.
Well, Case Keenum, what do you expect?
So that's my key to the game.
My key to the game, don't let the Packers score 27 points. The Packers have scored 27 points in 5 of their 6 wins. And in their 6th win, they scored 35. So when they don't score at least 27, they've scored 7 points, 10 points, and 13 points. I'm confident the Vikings can score more than 13 points. So do not let the Packers get to that magic number of 27, and we will win this game. Is that something
The
that
almighty,
the Packer fan base is aware of the number 27?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
The
absolutely.
almighty Tom Grossi did one where he was going 27, 27, 27, 27.
And they're like 27.
Kurt Cobain.
All right. So Brandon, what is the Packers' key to the game if they're going to win on Sunday?
I got two, and I alluded to this earlier. Don't let the Vikings limit your possessions. So we've got to get a couple 3-and-outs against the Vikings, something we struggled to do last week against the Giants. We let them put together long drives. Now, granted, we held them to 3 or forced a turnover on downs, but still that keeps the ball out of our offense's hands. And then our pass rush has got to get home in this game. We cannot leave Carrington Valentine and Keyshawn Nixon on an island against Addison, Naylor, and JJ. And there's been times where our pass rushing games it gets quiet for a little bit. So this has got to be a game where they're consistent and getting home.
I mean, it shouldn't be too hard, right? Got that one guy. I forgot his name, but he's pretty good, right?
What's
his sack total at?
He's at 6.5,
8.
I think. 8.
I think he's at 8 after last week. Let's look. Hold on.
I haven't heard you guys mention what's his name, Edgerrin Cooper. He good?
It's at 8 now. Edge.
Edge is a beast.
Yeah, I mean he's just so fast. Like teams will check the ball down. You expect it to get 5-6 yards, and he's right there. Like,
so you want to get to the
8.
quarterback, and so you guys do got Micah Parsons. So I can't imagine that's going to be too difficult. Except we do have some pretty good tackles in Christian Darrisaw and in Brian O'Neill, and we've only given up, what is it, 1 sack over the last 2 weeks. So we have been getting better than that aspect. So that could be a bit of a chess match. Marcus, what's your key to the game if the Packers are going to win on Sunday?
As far as the pressure, Luke Van Ness hasn't played since week 6, but if he's good to go, he's actually been surprisingly really good at tackle this year. So when we were able to go out Rashawn Gary, there will be Carl Brooks or Kobe Wooden, Van Ness, and Parsons. Our defensive line is really accelerated to the next level and unlocked Luke Van Ness, who really was starting to look like a really bad first-round pick for a while. So this year, he's had a really good year with Micah and Rashawn. But the main key to the game is dominate time of possession. Because if we do that, that means the run game is going. That means we're keeping our defense fresh and off the field. And that usually means we're putting together these long drives that end in points. And now as far as our kicking situation, I'm not sure why Brandon McManus was playing if he was hurt. That just doesn't make sense. That was my
is he
frustration
playing?
with Matt.
Is he playing?
I don't think he's playing this week.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Oh, but he was playing hurt?
He had a calf injury. Matt said he doesn't talk to kickers. I don't know what that was about.
Oh, I heard that, but I didn't know what that was about. I heard that quote that I don't talk to kickers.
But he shouldn't have been in the game versus Carolina. And because if he has a calf injury on his kicking leg, and we have a secondary kicker who just broke the franchise record and hadn't missed. Last week wasn't fair to him. They were kicking in a windstorm, so I'm not going to hold that against Lucas. But that was just my frustration with Matt more than anything. Just that decision making, I didn't understand it. But time of possession means we're putting together long drives, and they usually end in points when we're able to put together long drives. And that means we're winning the game because we're keeping our defense fresh to attack the opposite opposing team's offense.
Sounds like you guys want to get to the quarterback and control possession.
That means we're playing pretty much to our identity where Matt wants to establish the run. That opens up the play action, and then we can let loose with guys like, especially if Jaden Reed comes back this week too. I'm getting a little hopeful with people coming back. It's probably not going to happen, but we still have some guys that can tear it up. We just got to be able to catch the ball. That's another thing. Catch the ball.
Yeah, I think they'll probably open Jay Reed's 21-day window next week because I've heard for a couple of weeks now he's been shooting for the Thanksgiving game, but I doubt he gets back for it since they didn't open it this week. But we'll see.
All right. Well, before I get you guys out of here, let's go ahead and give our score predictions to this game. We'll start with you, Cody.
I'm going to go Minnesota Vikings 23, Green Bay Packers 20. No way.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Shaq.
I'm gonna go Minnesota Vikings 17, Green Bay Packers 13.
Damn, that'd be a fun game.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Fit.
Minnesota Vikings 33, Green Bay Packers 27.
Wow.
You're just trying to spite me, huh? Like, I'll let them get that 27 and take their first loss getting it.
I'd be hurt.
All right. What do you got, Marcus?
I have Packers 20, Vikings 10.
Go ahead, Brandon.
I got Pack 24, Vikings 20. We've been in one-score games most of the year. I think this will also be another one-score game.
All right, mostly respectful. And as you saw on my paper, I got the Minnesota Vikings win this game 23-20.
I just don't know what JJ McCarthy we're gonna get. We're able to fluster him. That's why I have 10.
Yeah.
I don't think
yeah.
they're gonna, because in my eyes, JJ's still a rookie because he was injured, so he's still developing as a quarterback. And
Tell
trying to
that
find
some
his
of the
rhythm.
fans that are watching this show right now, Marcus. Say that again.
I said, in my eyes, JJ McCarthy's still a rookie. He was injured last year, so that's how I approach playing the Vikings. We're facing a rookie quarterback. Let's get in there. Let's fluster him. Let's make him make quick decisions. Let's speed up his mental clock and his processing, and make him make mistakes, or he's gonna, sink or swim kind of thing.
Would you ever expect a Minnesota Vikings fan predicting a score of 35-12 versus you guys ever in your lifetimes?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so either.
I will say, don't get it twisted, Marcus. There's been a lot of fans who said JJ McCarthy was ready last year to take us to the playoffs and win a playoff game. So don't let that rookie thing confuse you. There was a lot of fans thinking JJ McCarthy was a top 10 quarterback coming out the draft last year, and he was going to take this team to the playoffs and win a game. He was ready to take Sam Darnold's job off the rip.
Interesting.
No longer if we didn't think he was AI with the no video.
Sorry, Brandon. What was that?
Yeah, no, you're good. Can I ask y'all a question real quick?
Yeah.
Would y'all have rather stuck with Darnold?
Oh my!
Every week, I
I wish I didn't bring you back on. I wish I didn't bring you back on because everybody that we've brought on, that is their final question. I shit you not.
I've got another.
No. Shaq loves it.
Okay.
We need to just clip a montage of everybody asking that question.
It'd be the same answer.
That's a great idea, actually.
Pretty much, we say this. We all wanted him to stick for 1 year, but we don't think he would take a 1 year deal. So it's better to stick with JJ McCarthy for the longevity of the franchise. Hindsight 2020, if we knew JJ McCarthy was going to be playing like this, struggling, we probably would have leaned more on trying to bring back a veteran quarterback to compete more so with JJ McCarthy. But that's more so our take.
Okay, gotcha.
And
then, the other question.
To give y'all some hope, like y'all are 4-6 through 10 games. Jordan Love in his first season starting was 4-6. Next 2 games, we go and beat Detroit on Thanksgiving, then Kansas City. And now what I will say is JJ has the pressure of feeding Justin Jefferson. At least Jordan didn't have the pressure of, say, if we kept Devontae a couple years back, having to feed a guy like that. But I think JJ's still got potential. Jordan in his first season, everybody complained. If y'all have seen him doing the bunny hop in the pocket. So, you get rusty with your mechanics and stuff when you're sitting on the bench for a couple years. I think JJ, and especially Kevin O'Connell, he's won with anybody. Josh Dobbs, Carson Wentz this year. I think he can win with JJ.
That was positive, man. Appreciate
that.
Oh, yeah. That's some good stuff.
Now get out of here. No.
Yeah.
All right, Brandon. I'll talk to you.
All right. Appreciate you, boys.
Later. All right. Well, there's a little positivity to end that with. Oh, man. I wish I didn't talk shit to George about the Kings beating the Sharks because the Kings are losing to the Sharks.
Damn it, man.
I just can't have a team that just makes me happy all the time. Just can't have it.
You got the Dodgers.
Well, okay.
Nah.
The real question about the Sam Darnold McCarthy thing: would you rather have Sam Darnold losing in the first round of the playoffs and picking 24, or having JJ McCarthy, knowing that you're going to have to play JJ McCarthy the next year, or playing JJ McCarthy this year on a development year and picking 13, knowing they play JJ McCarthy the next year regardless? Which one would you rather have?
Doesn't matter if Quasey's making the picks.
Yeah.
So what's the common denominator here? It's fire Quessa off Adolfo Mensa, isn't it?
Know what I know now? I'd rather have a veteran quarterback in here that's not Carson Wentz, and JJ McCarthy continue his development kind of behind the scenes.
But we're still losing in the first round.
Okay, that's fine. We're not even going to the first round now.
I know, but we're getting a better pick this year with playing
by maybe 6 picks or something like that. And like you said, there's no one after 10. There's no one after pick 10. Like you said that earlier. So no, I would have rather had a quarterback.
You'd rather have success this year.
There's only 13 people here. I think we should have signed Aaron Rodgers, and I wish we would have. Yeah. Because not only would we be competing for a playoff spot right now, it would have been fucking fun. It would have been wild. Okay, we talked about that. It would have been wild. The storyline would have been crazy. It'd be exciting. We were sold a bill of goods that JJ McCarthy was already ready to go. Now, I still believe JJ McCarthy will hit a point where he is ready to go and lead us. And, playing is going to help him do that. But I think, like Jordan Love, sitting behind a good quarterback, he came out, as soon as he had a start, he came out good.
Oh, wow. They're talking about JJ McCarthy right now on the post show on this Thursday night game.
Yeah, it's probably Richard Sherman he ate. So
yep, it is definitely Richard Sherman. What should Vikings do about JJ McCarthy's 52.9% completion rating and 5 starts?
Alex, I never said Carson Wentz would get us in the playoffs. I said someone besides Carson Wentz, like an actual, decent veteran quarterback.
But we still lose in the first round.
Okay. But you don't know that. You're just saying that to make it sound like a bad idea.
No, I know what Sam Darnold's going to get us because that's what we agreed on, what he's going to get us.
You don't know that, though.
That's what we've been talking about the whole offseason. That's why we got rid of Sam Darnold.
We got rid of Sam Darnold because we weren't going to sign to a long-term contract, and we were told by the coach that JJ McCarthy was ready to lead this team.
Yeah.
And I do believe he will, but it wasn't this year. Like he was developmental, and either you should have got a veteran quarterback in here if you're going to go in free agency, or you know what? Let's not waste all this money on these players and have all these expectations, and let's let JJ McCarthy come in here and take his lumps. Like they should have decided one or the other. Are we trying to make the playoffs? Or are we trying to develop a quarterback?
And I'm just happy to have that we're going to get this 3rd round comp pick so we can draft us another special teams ace.
Eric Wilson better slow down.
Yeah, Eric Wilson, he might cost us that comp pick, Fish.
Yeah.
Well, one of them.
Mm-hmm.
It cost us the Daniel Jones 4th round. He's not going to cost us the Sam Darnold 3rd.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want him to slow down. I'll give up that 4th round comp pick and pray that we sign him again.
Yeah, I don't want him to slow down. I want him to lead us to these 6 victories.
We can re-sign him for 40 million. Or how much is the linebacker contract?
Bro, he's like 32 years old, so he ain't getting anything near what you're trying to suggest he's gonna get.
What did we sign Ginkle for? That's what we're gonna sign him for.
Get out of here. All right, with that, let's go ahead and get into our purple prophecies and make our predictions for this week. Who's ready? I got it. Go ahead, Michael Fish.
All right, which one are we doing?
Predictions. We're not going to do the horn tonight.
Come on, man. I had a good one.
Oh, I mean, it's 9:00 for me. All right, go ahead. Let's do the prophecies and we can do a quick gal horn.
Which one you want first?
Predictions.
JJ McCarthy will throw for over 200 yards and 2 touchdowns in this game.
Okay, I like it. Yep. Go ahead, Cody.
JJ McCarthy will not throw an interception this game.
So between you two, 200 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interception. All right. I'm going to go on the defensive side of the ball, and we're going to do something that we've only done once this year. We are going to sack Jordan Love at least 4 times, and we are going to force at least 2 interceptions. It's crazy to me. We only have 3 interceptions this whole season. So we're going to get 2 in this game, plus we're going to get 4 sacks. I think that Jacobs is probably going to miss this game. I think they're going to be more reliant on the pass, and I think we're going to get home. What do you got, Shaq?
I'm going to double down on this hot take. So I might not get the long-term hot take, but I'm going to get this one. Dallas Turner will have more sacks than Michael Parsons this game.
Okay. If they both get 0, this does not hit. Well, what's Robbie my godding about now?
The JJ McCarthy stats.
Oh, JJ McCarthy's. Yeah.
200 yards and 2 touchdowns, and Robbie's like, my God.
That's easy.
Yeah.
Check it out. Oh.
All right, Michael Fish, hits with your Gallahorn. Your hot take.
The only way that JJ McCarthy is going to be successful at this level is if he divorces himself from that damn 7th grade QB coach.
Ooh. So you think we might have learned something about that guy? Or does it have nothing to do with the Chris Carter stuff?
No, I think that guy has been his QB coach since the 7th grade and is getting in the way of the professionals teaching him how to play the game at this level. You know, I was a wrestling coach in high school, and I had a couple of kids go to college, and I wasn't still involved. I let them go and be coached at the higher level by the college guys. I wouldn't mess that up. And look, JJ McCarthy has mechanics issues. If a guy's had them since 7th grade and they've been able to fix some mechanics issues, it's time to move on.
You know, that's a pretty hot take, but but I wonder how much say or influence the team can have on that with JJ McCarthy. Like,
I'm not saying the team has to force it. I'm saying he needs to make that decision.
Right. But I'm just wondering, can the team influence that decision? I mean, I think it was Russell Wilson when Sean Payton came in. He said Russell Wilson's quarterback coach not allowed in the facility.
Yeah. I mean, they can't say fire him. They can say he's just not going to do that here.
Wait. Nobody said to get his middle school coach, Robbie. If you're paying attention, he has his middle school coach. JJ McCarthy's quarterback coach has been with him since 7th grade. Are you paying attention? We're saying he needs to get rid of him, not go get him.
That's real honorable of you, Fish. You didn't take the money to go coach your college, your high school wrestlers.
I mean, I just didn't get in the way. I mean, I just wouldn't. It's like, okay, you've moved on. I'm a high school coach. They're coaching in college. I'm not going to act like I know better than them.
What do you think, Cody? Should he cut the cord?
Yeah, should cut the cord and go get his Josh Allen's old quarterback coach, Jordan Palmer. I think that's the guy you should be going after. Yeah, cut the cord.
I don't think Robbie understands this. Robbie's in the same 7th. Robbie, he is still using the same quarterback coach that he had since the 7th grade on top of the Vikings coaching staff. I am saying that in order to be successful, he needs to let this guy go and focus on learning from the guys in the pros. If that's too hard for you to comprehend.
We got the slideshow ready. Keith, bring up the slideshow.
I got colors and pictures.
You're commenting an awful lot for somebody who don't care, Robbie.
Yeah.
Timmy, what's up, man? What's up, Timmy? Timmy, you must be working. You've been joining us late lately.
I agree, Fish. I can see that happening. He needs to basically develop with another ideology of how to throw the ball. And that leads back to Josh McCown. I think that was your guy who was
Laugh.
yapping. Yeah, he needs to take over, correct JJ McCarthy's mechanics in order to get a head coaching job. Right now, it's not looking like Josh McCown can get a head coaching job because who want to hire a quarterback coach who can't correct his quarterback mechanics?
You had one
That's
job.
good. That's a good one, Fish. And I could see that coming up. We saw his coach, go after Chris Carter, calling him an effing clown because Chris Carter criticized JJ McCarthy in that game against the Bears. Then he came out with an apology, the quarterback coach did, and he used the Vikings logo on it. And I'm assuming it was the Vikings who asked him to delete that apology because he deleted it and said he was told to take it down. I'm guessing the Vikings had a problem with him acting like he was associated with the team. So I could see that divorce coming, Fish. But as of right now, that's a pretty hot take.
Mm-hmm.
Cody, you got one for us?
Yeah, I got a pretty good hot take. I think the Vikings offensive line, what we saw last week, is better than what we're going to see when Ryan Kelly starts playing at center. I think it's the best offensive line we put on the field with Blake Brandel. Adding Ryan Kelly, I think it changes dynamics. I don't think it's going to be the best. Fish, you were correct in the offseason, my guy.
I'm going to agree with that because that was kind of my concern when I saw that they had put Ryan Kelly in this 21-day window. I'm like, well, do we really want to do that? Because Brandel's actually playing well. And not only that, JJ McCarthy's been working with him. He's used to him. Why are you going to give him a different set of butt cheeks?
Nothing sweaty.
So I do think it's odd that they're trying to get Ryan Kelly to come back when he's obviously not going to be part of this team next year. We're kind of working on next year right now, to be honest. I mean, Brandel might be our center. We got to find out. We might have a $4 million center next year, and that would be sweet, considering we don't have a lot of money. So, yeah, I agree. We could see some sort of regression if Ryan Kelly is allowed to enter this lineup over Blake Brandel. I agree with that. You buying it, Shaq?
Hell no. I'm not trusting Blake Brandel. He's showing the spurts, but I'm not trusting Blake Brandel to play our full season. He's looking competent right now, but I'm going to go with the for sure and Ryan Kelly. Yeah, he's coming off of concussions, but he has shown more longevity to play at the center position at a high level. So if Ryan Kelly's mentally healthy, ready to go, I'm putting him back in, getting him reps with JJ McCarthy because that is who JJ McCarthy was taking reps from in the preseason when he was working on his mechanics.
That's okay. I'll accept that, but I don't know, man. The guy's had his noggin rung a couple times, and he was the center, right, for JJ McCarthy's first two games.
Didn't he get knocked out in the second game? He got knocked out in the second game. What was his
He
injury?
did. Yeah, we were there.
Yeah. I recall that.
We were there.
I don't think his throw mechanics deals with anything with the center, though.
No, it don't, but it's the whole process of taking the ball from under the man's butt.
I was saying JJ McCarthy has only been sacked one time in the last 2 weeks, and I don't think I will mess with it. So, Cody, I am agreeing with you, and I don't think they should mess with it. All right. So, Mike Gallahorn, it's kind of maybe more of a prediction than it is a hot take. But even though I don't think we're going to make the playoffs, I don't think we're totally off the hook. I think at some point, that little bit of hope that we have inside is going to end up turning into belief and then turning into despair. I don't think we're off the hook. So what I think is going to happen, I think we're going to beat the Packers. I think we're going to go and beat the Seahawks. we're going to be 6-6, and we just beat the Packers and the Seahawks on the road. Oh man, we're one game out from the division. Only for it to burn us in week 18. So I think we're going to get our hopes up. We're going to start believing, and we're going to get crushed. So I don't know if that's more of a prediction or a hot take. You buying or selling it, Cody?
I want to say I want to sell it because the Vikings have never been on a 6-1 record or 6-1 run after a losing record, and it doesn't matter what part of the losing record they're coming from. But the talent on this team wants me to buy this because the talent is all over the place. It's a really talented team. It needs to be gelling together. The roster turnover is a major problem. But just like Jordan Love and the Toyota-thon, it takes a little bit to learn a new offensive scheme. LaFleur plays out there. I love who we're playing compared to who we're going to be playing, who the Packers are playing, who the Lions are playing, who the Bears are playing. We went through our gauntlet. We limped out of it. I expect the Lions to be limping out of their gauntlet. I expect the Packers and the Bears also to be limping out of their gauntlet. And like I said, only one 10-win team or more is coming out of this division going to the playoffs. Yes, I'm buying because I think there is still a chance for us to go 6-1 throughout that and making the playoffs.
So he's not buying. He doesn't feel like we're going to fall in despair, Keith.
Yeah, no.
No, we're not falling into despair. So are you saying that's what you're saying?
Yes, I'm saying that this team's going to give us hope, but ultimately put us right back where we are.
No,
because I think right now
we're beating the Packers and kicking them out of the playoffs, and that's a Super Bowl for me. So still buying or selling. Yeah, I'm selling. I fucked this whole thing up.
Yeah, you did. It's all good though. None of this is gonna see the light of day. Shaq, what do you got?
So, did you say make the playoffs or not make the playoffs?
That's what I was saying.
Not. So,
but we're gonna have belief at some point during the season that okay, we're in the hunt, and we're gonna make the playoffs. We're gonna feel like we did a couple weeks ago.
That's like the first year we had Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, 8-8.
We knew we was gonna make the playoffs, and we didn't make the playoffs with a chance to make the playoffs. But so I'm selling. I'm still riding on the train that we're gonna make the playoffs. The only reason I hesitate because I do think the Vikings are gonna let us down and giving us hope. We're gonna be like, oh, we look unbeatable since week 10 to first round wild card. We're top 5, top 3, this, that. There's no teams that seem like they could beat us. And then we beat ourselves or get blown out in the playoffs and be like, well, that was a good season. We learned a lot.
It's buying.
All right, you got a Gallahorn for us, Shaq?
Gallahorn for me is I feel like our defensive line is finally going to put it together with, I don't know if Gennard's playing yet. He's upgraded to limited, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so even if he's not playing or if he plays, I feel like our defensive front is finally going to start getting combined pressures, not just one person blitzing and then the quarterback avoiding the pressure. I feel like we're going to get pressure on multiple fronts. So I think somebody said we're going to get you. I think it was you, Keith, who said we're going to get 4 sacks. And I feel like we're going to get a lot more pressures. And not only pressures, we're going to finish and get team sacks, I should say. Not just one person getting the quarterback, but multiple people getting to the quarterback.
I guess I'm buying it.
I mean, if their offensive line is as bad as they say it is, then it could be our defensive line's get right game.
I was going to end this right now, but it just started pouring, and I got to walk back to the house. I can't walk out there in the rain right now.
I mean, we can
Fish, entertain me.
Come on here.
So what are you guys thinking about next week? Wednesday?
Wednesday what?
Well, Thanksgiving's on
Doing the
Thursday.
show.
Yeah, Wednesday sounds good.
Yeah.
We can
I work Friday,
probably-
Saturday, so that's so.
I probably will get a Christmas tree on Friday. Actually, my family's all. I did it one time. Let's go get our tree after the day after Thanksgiving. Now I gotta do it every year. Fish, you get a real tree or fake tree
Fake.
or no tree? Fake.
Yeah.
White or no tree?
Last year, this cat absolutely murdered the tree, but she was being a monster. So I'm hoping she'll be a little bit better girl this year. But I'm not holding my hopes up. I've got about as much hope of her not destroying this tree as Robbie has of JJ McCarthy becoming a good quarterback.
Just don't even put it up then.
I mean,
Just leave it in the box. Stand the box up by the window.
Yeah.
You might think it's a cat tower.
All right, so it sounds like it'll be on Wednesday. Cody, final words.
Final words is it's Thursday night. We're back on it. Weekend's coming up real close. All right, be safe out there. All right, if you're not trying to be safe, make sure you have a plan. Be good or be good at it.
Shaq.
Final thoughts. Thanks for the Packers fans who joined us. Brandon, Marcus, Steve. I did want to give a little shout to Marcus' podcast, Perspective Sports, where he talks about a lot of college football. So if you're into college football, you can go check him out. He deals with the prospects individually and some narratives that's in college football. As for the Vikings fans, keep your heads up. It's going to be a long season. You just got to believe. Don't overthink it. Let JJ McCarthy play quarterback and then wait till the season over to say, I told you so, or to say, he showed me something.
All right. Michael Fish.
For Vikings fans, by Vikings fans, to 20 more years, fellas. Yes, even you, Robbie. We ain't out of it yet, and until we're out of it, then I'm still going to think that we can stand a chance. We got plenty of divisional football left to play where we can gain ground on these guys. And yes, Keith, your take there could very well happen. We could be one game out of the division lead and be like, hell yeah, and then just absolutely collapse against the Commanders. And wow. But let's have a fun weekend. I'm going to do my best to be able to watch most of the game. See y'all on Aftercare. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go. See you guys on Aftercare on Sunday and see you on Wednesday next week. Let's go.
Let's go.
Skol, baby.